Circle, everybody. Lostboys Cypher Circle is back in session. It is my birthday. This is the birthday bash. What's up, y'all? First of all, I want to show y'all our new backdrop. This is a birthday present from my girlfriend. It's pretty dope. As usual, guys, before we get the show started, I'm going to take a second and talk about mental health. Share a couple resources with you guys. As always, we got BetterHelp. You can go find a therapist in under 48 hours. It's very cheap therapy, one of the cheapest that I've seen in the country. And then there's the 988 hotline. But I just wanted to get that out there real quick. We're going to try to keep this chill and upbeat, and there might be some dark, depressing shit. We'll get to that, but we're going to have a chill night tonight. But tonight we're going to do shit a little different. So usually it's just me asking the questions, giving my feedback, interviewing the artist. Tonight, however, after each poem, I'm going to bring all the artists up, and we got a lot of them. We got 8 artists coming out tonight, and they're all some of you guys' favorites and some of my personal favorites. And we got one new artist coming up here that I'm really excited for. I'll save him till the end. That's a secret. But like I was saying, after each poem, I'm going to bring everybody up, and we're going to do a little Q&A, and so everybody can give their feedback, everybody can ask questions, and I'm also going to be performing tonight and letting the artists who I brought on tonight ask me questions about my poems and stuff like that. So first of all, we're going to just introduce all the artists, get that out of the way, and just play their flyers real quick. So first up, we got Skedaddle. Here's their flyer, guys. All right, guys. So make sure y'all go check out her social medias. You saw them up there on the screen. I'll play it again at the end of the show. Next up, we got Uno. Let's play his flyer real quick.
Wonder Woman. In her eyes, her heart, and soul, there's a fire, a burning passion and desire, breaking free from the change, shattering all those constraints. She is strong, she's fierce, a force to be reckoned with, no fear. She stands tall with her head held high. With every step, she defies every lie. She is the embodiment of power, a symbol of strength that towers above those who seek to bring her down. She wears her crown with an unwavering frown. She's a warrior, a fighter, a beacon of hope and a rescuer. She fights for justice and equality. She stands out against every misogyny, and as Trini say, Mama Guy. She is the essence of grace, the true epitome of beauty. Her strength lies in her heart, her power and unbreakable spirit. She is a force to be reckoned with, a true inspiration, a gift. She is what a Wonder Woman in all her glory, a story that will live on in history.
I don't know if I might have been muted for a second there. Hold on. Make sure you guys go check out his website. got a couple new projects going on right now. I'm sure we'll get to that and we'll talk about that soon. Our third artist is a throwback feature artist that you guys have voted for, Robin. Play the thing.
Lives I'm living in times unrest. In this body, my divine weakness. Learn my lessons and I pass my tests. I've done this before, already know what's next. OG soul getting hotter than the rest. Heart so big it's beating out my chest. Free sovereignty, my beings are defined. I'm here and now, cause I'm divine. And here and now, cause my body's aligned. And here and now, cause we're running out of
I jam to that shit every time. So make sure you guys go check her out. She's a Reiki healer. She's got a Reiki studio. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Next up, another feature artist you guys have voted for, the girl behind the mask, Beelzebub.
Some days I'm confused if this is a museum or a battleground. If I am standing in depressing mourn, staring at a display case of my own misery, or if I am still holding the gun, trying not to be the next one down. There are many parts of me I will never meet or be again. The little girls who lie dead, futilely clutching toys and guns from their unfortunate attempt to fight. The ones of me missing still, gone to some amnesia and shadowed by the monsters that are my agony and rage. The ones held prisoner, either by myself or the tongue-licked lip smirks of monsters. Is this display case screaming for me? Or have I missed the exploding shell that has landed against another part of me? I know I will be the last one standing. I can see that. The fact does still not help me know if this is here and now or there and then. I write this, I sing this, I breathe this for nothing else but them, the fallen, the prisoners, the missing, and their memorabilia.
We're going to figure it out. Don't worry. We're going to figure it out. We're going to keep pushing through these technical difficulties. Make sure you guys go check her out on Instagram. She's got 2 books out on Amazon right now. Next artist coming up is our third and I believe final feature artist that we have on tonight, Laura Lynn.
What poetry means to me. I like to bring my words to life at night while I'm lying in bed. It's where I intensely express with a magical finesse all the emotions that run through my head. And sometimes I find it real easy to express and address my thoughts. And other times I'll try for a rhyme, get stuck in a spot with a word I forgot and start over 100 times. I choose powerful words designed to sound attractive, and then I insert them in spaces beside beautiful phrases and I smile at all the reactions. For me, putting pen to paper releases a chemical form of expression. It motivates me and it captivates you and it lightens the weight of depression. I tell a story of my success, my failures, and my rejections, and then I hide them in a little app on my phone with a password for my protection. And when I'm ready to confide in the world just exactly what needs to be, I post it to a crowd with a message out loud and I call it my poetry.
To her on YouTube and follow her social medias. Next one up is August. Y'all have seen her
Pour
before.
your words into me. Lies of love and care, words of bitterness and hate, words of judgment and cruelty, words released from unfiltered anger, then follow it with fake apologies. And watch as my porcelain starts to crack at the edges. Watch as I crack and continue to pour your hate into me. Whenever I crumble and break, toss me out and buy a cup made of polycarbonate, for maybe that won't break so easily.
My mic keeps getting muted after I play the flyer, so I gotta wait a second. Make sure y'all go check her out on Facebook, I believe, and we'll talk to her in a few minutes as well. He's not coming on till later tonight, around 9 o'clock, because this is a 4-hour special. But show you guys my man Caleb's flyer real quick.
My words fly out
KC.
chromatic, make you halt and go static, make you stop and go rapid. Turn that shit to a habit so much you can't tap it. I'll be running around you taking laps in. The facts are in, I'm taking sips of gin to motivate the pin to rotate when the dictate singe and obliterate facts back to back like a roundabout. The cold facts around. I'll expose what I'm used to. My alphabet's like building blocks too simple for me to use. Immature literature, I'll capture then reiterate vile amateurs with a mile looking contestants in my head. What voice to use? Makes my spit turn vicious. What comes out invictus? Trust choices, not voices. My poisoned alphabet turns your face green. Not insane what's obscene. You can't escape when it comes to me. I go hard on a beat. You bob your head to me.
Tonight, that kid spits bars upon bars upon bars. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to fucking hear it later tonight. He was in the video driving while we were spitting those bars, man. Hell yeah. And last but certainly not least, our newest guest to the show, my brother, the oldest of the Lostboys. Let's play his flyer, guys. Brendan Lawler. All right, guys. So that's all of our guests tonight. They're all gonna do at least one or two poems for us, and it should be a good show. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring our first artist up here. That is Skedaddle, and see what she's got for us tonight. Here we go. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, howdy.
What's up?
Living the dream.
You look tired. This is a long day.
I still have COVID, so
Ooh.
yeah.
Damn, that sucks. Well, I hope you power through it.
I'm
Thanks for coming on anyway.
No problem, man. I have enough energy. It's just struggling.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Well, hopefully after this you can get some rest. I had a long day too. I went on a hike and got lost in the woods, and it was a whole thing. So
golf claps.
What's the so what are you going to be sharing with us tonight? Because you sent me a few things. I don't know what you wanted to do first.
I sent them in the order I want to present them. The first one's nostalgia, the kid on the tire swing.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So hold on. Let me. Oh wait, no.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, that's it. Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, you wanna talk about it a little bit?
So I got my great aunt has a tire swing at her house that was like one of my favorite things in the world. And for some reason, I just got a random flashback of like swinging on it, and that's where this came from. And I just wish I could go back to those days. So it's kind of like a nostalgic feeling. That's where it's got its name.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, that's something that like, it's like sort of you see those like sights or sounds that like kind of remind you of like just your childhood, and it kind of like it just brings you back there. It does capture that. So do you want to hear what everybody else has to say about it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who would like to ask Skedaddle about her piece first? All right, I got everybody up on here now, I believe. Does anybody have questions or comments for Skedaddle they would like to share?
What medium do you
All right, you're
use?
muted. Unmute yourself.
What?
There
you go.
I just want to say like that the artwork is beautiful. I love like the different colors and like kind of like nostalgic colors that you had with it.
Thank
And
you.
that like it's just a really beautiful piece of art. I don't think I have any questions.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Which question?
What medium do you use? Are you primarily digital artist, or do you do like physical mediums as well?
So I am primarily digital, but I do love painting with acrylics and watercolors. Watercolor has to be one of my favorite mediums to use.
I can tell with how you designed the background that watercolor is something that you really like.
Thank you.
I must say that was a real vintage pick. It
Thank you.
looks like something that I would actually buy.
I appreciate that.
Hey, Dylan, for you to throw it back up for a minute because I actually missed seeing.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
someone...
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, thank you. Oh my god, I love that. My
Here you
daughter
go.
loved it.
I heard that. Thank you.
It's definitely something I want like up on my wall, for sure, for sure.
Well,
I noticed that
I'm
it doesn't
hoping
have
I'm
your
getting
usual
past it.
signature on it.
Oh, it doesn't. See,
No,
fun little
no,
fact.
you.
I have ADHD, and sometimes I'll forget to put my signature.
I love that.
I feel that. I mean, this whole show is run by me and my ADHD brain, and you know how it goes. We do our best.
That's awesome. It's funny
Anybody
that you
else
noticed
got any questions for me?
I love the framing that you did with the house. I love the framing with how small you are in the memory and how large the tree is compared to the background. I really love that composition of it.
Thank you. The tree was huge. It was this giant, like, kind of willow tree, and I remember it would like hang over the house a little bit.
Hey Robin.
Yeah.
Does your friend have a question?
Yes, she does. You did that.
I'd love to hear the question, or if she's too shy, you can ask it.
You come, we're coming. She is not too shy.
I'm blending.
Like the gradient, the gradients of it. How it goes. She really likes the gradient.
Thank you, Ann.
Oh wow.
I appreciate that.
Fond of a tire swing. That's my childhood to a T.
Yeah,
so
I used to have a tire. Yeah. God.
She.
Well, thanks for your compliment and thanks for your input.
Thank you, Ann.
And thanks for watching. All right, guys. Who do we have going next on my list here? Uno, you ready, bro?
Oh yeah. Of course, I'm ready to bring back circles.
All right, man. I'll drop that.
He's always.
All right, I'll drop everyone out of here real quick. What's the name of your piece?
It's circles. The one officially dedicated to this show.
Oh, you're gonna do circles again for me? Hell yeah, dude! All right.
Because
Let me shut
I
up
know
and
it's
get out of here, then.
something special for you today, but I'm not calling it circles part 2, but the second piece is just
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm not gonna say anything else, but when that time comes, you're having a part 2. So circles. In an empire creativity where hearts are free, there's a show that breaks barriers. Lostboys Cypher Circle, you see. Hosted by a fearless soul, Dylan Lawler. His spirit unshaken, an artist embracing others. A rare gem, unspoken. Each passing episode, a sanctuary unfolds, a sacred space where stories are told. And the talent, clearly the best of the best. Dylan, an orchestrator of unity, his purpose clear to provide a haven unadulterated where art conquers fear. Lostboys Cypher Circle is staged unlike the rest, where artists intertwine with a flow untainted and blessed. No fragrance of deceit and no venomous lace. Only a genuine artist embracing their own unique space. Dylan, the guardian of untamed artistry, empowering others, unleashing their creativity. Through spoken word, rap, rhythmic verse, and now art, he ignites a passion of souls, lifting them from their curse. The beats reverberate as hearts open wide. In this sanctuary, identities can no longer hide. From forgotten dreams to unspoken pain, each artist finds solace in their truth they regain. Blessings upon blessing freely shared with grace. Boom! Goes the Dylan mic, the host, never judging, never misplaced. He stands as a beacon of strength when darkness looms, guiding lost souls, helping them find their own truths. Lostboys Cypher Circle, where the dreams are born, where souls unite and battles are dawned. No space for boundaries, no limits, no walls, only room for growth and inspiration calls. Dylan, the fearless artist, with a vision so crystal clear, creating a revolution, breaking through every fear. Lostboys Cypher Circle, a testament of his own might, a symphony of voices embracing boundless flight. Join the circle. Let your story be told. Amidst the flowing verses, let your ambitions unfold. We are all lost boys, searching for our place. Through Dylan's guidance, we find that grace. Lostboys Cypher Circle, an enchanting tale where artists congregate. Spirits never fail. In a haven where artistry, no lyric, goes to waste. Dylan Lawler, come on, fearless host, let's talk. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, dude. Oh man, that shit was dope. I fucking I ain't never had nobody fucking write me a poem before, fucking write a fucking draw me a stick figure before. That was dope. That was dope,
Well,
man. Thank you.
As I say, only an artist supporting another artist. That is where the freedom lies, because it had no time for hate, no beef, no anything.
Yeah.
You have your thing with all our family on this space.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Like, that's why I brought you all in. Like, you've all been on here before, and like, it's just I know you all love being on here. I love having all of you on here. And I mean, obviously, we know what the poem was about, but if anybody wants to ask him some general questions, I also wanted to mention, like, I didn't get to it much, but like, you just said your project dropped yesterday or something like that. Your mental health project.
Yes. Well, it's the group mental health project. The site A of it has was brought. Oh my gosh, why am I getting a bad feedback? Yeah, it dropped yesterday. So I have one of my pieces being done by somebody else, but they put me as author and the person has voiceover. Then I did a voiceover for another piece that somebody did, and that's the end of the project. So it's a really collaborative effort on mental health, because this is why I like this show and how you always start with the mental health side of it. Because I know a lot of different things going on in the world, and a lot of people really are a lost soul, they are the lost boy. So this is why I appreciate being a part of this.
That's what it's all about, man. Just bringing all the lost souls together, man. Just
and I am so glad
you captured like the essence of the show so well
my favorite
in your book.
poets.
Hell yeah. Anybody have any questions for him or about what he's doing or whatnot? Skedaddle.
I would just like to say I absolutely love like your flow. It's so motivating and like, yes, you should be like
Thank
a
you.
motivational speaker.
Yes, and I must say, I I love your flow, the emo slash gorillas vibe. And I love the art. Where can we get the art? That's what I want to know.
So I am going to hopefully start doing prints soon, but right now you can message me on Instagram or Twitter, and I currently do Cash App, but I'm working on getting an actual bank right now. So Instagram, Twitter, it's on my flyer.
Hell yeah! I love the support you guys have for each other. Like just going back and forth. Like, hey, what's your shit? No, what's your shit? Like, tell me. You guys are great, dude. Any other questions for Uno?
Any other questions for Uno?
Go ahead.
So I just want to say that I enjoy your show as well, but I also think you have crazy energy about it. Whenever one of those people, I guarantee walking, everybody's attitude to a better, more one of those.
You might want to move closer to your mic. You're a little in and out.
Yeah.
This weather is raining here too. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
A little better.
Yep.
Little better. Can I ask? I might have missed it on the first show for some reason, but like, what made you so?
People are just getting cut off from the storm right now.
Oh my!
The storm's pretty bad where I am.
I think she got cut out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You just said it was raining.
Her and Beelzebub.
I
does
saw
anybody else
Laurel.
want to ask him questions while we're waiting?
Yes, I saw Laurel hand up.
Yeah, man. I just want to say that's an awesome piece. I love it every time you come on and play the tribute.
Yes.
Laurelyn, you had something?
Yes, Laurelyn.
Hey, I just want to say that I love your rhythm. And I think that piece was the perfect piece to start the show with. Because it brings such a warm and exhilarating energy. I just loved it. I love everything you do.
Thank you. And I love your poetry. But as I said, Monster is my favorite.
Awesome.
Before we lost her, I saw Beelzebub had her hand up. You still have something to say?
Yes, I did, in fact. I can't even tell if I'm here right now. Okay, I am.
You're good. Yep.
I actually wanted to say the same thing. Has already been said was that I really like the energy that you use when you speak. It's a very powerful, commanding energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I was going for.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I actually wouldn't even find that, but hearing it, I know that I need to really know that what others think, not what is in my head.
Know that what others think, not what is in my head.
Yeah, it's good to
get that
feedback.
Yeah, it's good to get feedback.
Sorry, guys, we were just cutting in and out a little bit. Can everybody still hear me all right?
Yeah. Is anyone else getting some crazy echoing?
Bad feedback, yes.
Yep.
Yes, I am. A little bit of feedback. That's what I was trying to fix. That's what I was saying. Hang on a second. I think Beelzebub, you were causing the echoing. Possibly. Maybe somebody else has a faint echo, but
I don't hear it anymore.
Who would like to go next? Let's see. I was gonna have Robin go next, but we lost her for the moment, so hopefully she'll come back. we can have Beelzebub. Would you like to go next? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
she has her thumbs up.
I'll fix it for you. Oh no, come back. You know, we have never had a show with more technical difficulties than we're having right now. And it's because it's my birthday. It really is. It's because we're cursed. Come on, Beelzebub. Let's get back in here. Right. Well, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna bring August up here till Beelzebub gets back in. Then, all right. The show must go on. Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
We're getting through it. I mean,
we're getting through it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not the most technically sound show we've ever had, but it's probably because we have so many people on here and the show's trying to keep up or whatever. But what are you going to be sharing with us tonight?
I have 2 poems. I have Wishing on Dandelions and The Transition. I'll do Wishing on Dandelions first.
All right, cool. I'll get myself ready.
I stand in a field of dandelions, making wishes and watching as the delicate seeds blow away in the wind that collected my wishes. For my parents, I wish them to continue growing and learning as people, for they deserve to learn beyond what they lived and create new and better experiences for themselves. For my siblings, I wish them happiness in the lives that they live. I wish them to find their source of joy and run as fast as they can with it. For they need to find true happiness for themselves. For my partner, I wish them to stay happy. I wish them to continue pushing forward whenever times get hard. I wish them to find little moments of joy throughout the days, for they deserve to feel love and happy for the amazing person that they are. For my friends, I wish them to live a fulfilling life. I wish them to be happy, and I wish them to never feel that they need to walk this life alone, for they deserve all of this and more. For society, I wish everyone to continue learning. I wish for everybody to put away their devices and listen. I wish for everyone to battle against ignorance and corruption, for it is needed to continue freshening. For myself, I dropped the intact seeds I was going to blow into. For myself, I wish upon nothing.
Hell yeah. I strongly wish and hope for all of those things too. Those are some big wishes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that flower floats off somewhere.
Yes.
and does the magic trick, man. Because this world really needs that flower, man.
Oh yeah.
This world really needs that flower, and I love the way you ended it too. Because I mean, really, once you have all those things, what else do you need? What else do you need? Once the whole world and everyone around you is at peace and happy, you're good. You know, you don't. Yeah. There's no conflict. There's no, that's what I have to say about it. Let's see what everybody else has to say about it. All right, who would like to go first? Skedaddle.
That ending was probably the most chilling. I got immediate goosebumps. That was the perfect ending, and I can't relate to something more. Oh my god.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
Yeah, that one was relatable on so many levels because I found that some of the things it really makes me think, okay, how am I in that verse?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's definitely one of the more relatable poems I've heard for sure.
Yeah.
Shadow or Laurelyn, you guys got anything you want to say?
It was definitely well spoken, and I like how you ended it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was really pretty. I imagined each seed floating off with your wish. So it was very visual.
Thank you.
I like that. Yeah, yeah. Beelzebub, we just got you back up here. I don't know, were you watching?
No, I tried to make sure that my phone was gonna operate a little bit more smoothly, so that way hopefully I don't lose again.
It's okay. I understand. We'll have you be the first one to give some feedback on her next poem. Are you ready to go next?
Yeah. Is the echoing still happening now that I'm back?
It's very faint, but we're good.
All right, in that case.
Cool. What is the first one you're gonna be? Oh, hang on.
Never Let Them Win Again is the first one I think I was going to do.
Never Let Them Win Again. All right, that's an interesting title. I'm interested.
When those monsters made a shell of me, I filled it with things I later emptied. Like digging the rotting flowers out of resin long after the funeral and your want for a memorial is over. Once I was empty of all the frivolous, rotting things, it felt as if those monsters had won again. I longed for the rotting, if it meant I wasn't cavernous. Pretend patience was what I earned instead. Now I hold something exposed to the air long enough to discover if it will rot before I ever take it home. I don't easily stuff myself full of the simplistic things that go septic inside me. I won't let another man convince me his hands are the cure. I won't let a monster rot inside me in dormancy to replace the jewels other monsters took. That is love. Not bringing the first mouth to claim it can cure and satiate the emptiness, but it is love to fill that emptiness with the calm waiting and softness of what I deserve. I never let them win again.
Well, like everything you do, that was chilling and dark, and probably one of the more maybe triggering is not the right word, but more sensitive topics that you've talked about. Triggering for some people, I'm sure for a lot of people. But if possible, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Oh yeah, of course. This is actually a reject poem from my second book, Nightgowns and Other War Memorabilia. And it does talk about probably exactly what you think it is about. It is a poem about recovering from sexual assault and all the things that come along with that, including the constant feeling that something was taken from you and the constant searching to fill it, and how usually you fill it with things that you really should have never even touched.
Right.
That was beautiful.
That was so powerful on so many levels, because that actually spoke to a lot of things that a lot of women, when they go through it, they don't even want to say those things. And you actually spoke to their souls, and I heard it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very hard to speak about. It's very hard to speak about a lot of things that we talk about on this show, but like I said, that was definitely one of the more sensitive topics, and I admire you for coming on here and having the strength to speak about it.
Yeah, it's a theme. It's a theme in my second book, Nightgowns and War Memorabilia, so just in case anybody had any reason to want to check out the book, that is something that's heavily talked about inside the book. But yeah, it's something that I've always been vocal about since I started recovering from it, from them. And so I've always wanted to give a voice, because it is something nobody really wants to talk about.
Yeah. August, you had a question?
It's so relatable for me and how you portray that feeling and emotion of how you felt after that happened. And I admire you so much, like just for talking about it and yes, just for talking about it and speaking about it, because so many people, even if they haven't gone through it or have gone through it, like they don't talk about it because they're fear of being embarrassed or being shamed and things like that. So it's really courageous that you talked about it, especially in such an open space.
Thank you.
Seeing
Absolutely.
Skedaddle.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Skedaddle wants to. I'm seeing Skedaddle's hands up.
Oh,
The
Skedaddle,
like replacing the feeling that they took with the horrible stuff is so relatable that it almost made me cry. That is what I love your poems because they're so emotional and like
Thank you.
Every,
Yeah.
every single one of them sends chills down my spine. For sure. For sure.
I'm flattered.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And I can't wait to hear whatever you got next for us. Let's see, who would like to go next? We still don't have Robin back up here. So let's see. Lauren, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Clickety,
hear me
click,
okay?
click. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. All right. Wow. What's this one called?
So this one is called Monsters Are Real. It's the boy's perspective.
Okay. All right. And Monsters Are Real Part 1, right? You have another part to this?
Yep.
Is that out on YouTube?
Yep.
All right, cool. So make sure you guys go check that out. I'm going to drop myself out of here.
Monsters Are Real. The boy's perspective, part 1. It's 8:30. Mom's tucking me into bed. She pulls up the cover. She says goodnight to my brothers and she kisses me on the head. She tells me goodnight. I'll see her cute face in the morning. She flicks out the light. She whispers goodnight. My brother's fast asleep and they're snoring. Scared, my tummy starts to flip. I'm afraid I'm about to vomit. I'm afraid of the dark. It's when the nightmares start and the monsters come out of my closet. My chest gets heavy. I'm short of breath. I pray in my head it will leave. It comes late at night when I turn out the light. It's most vulnerable time to feed. Then I pull the sheets down over my eyes, winded and short of air. I count to 10 and start over again, and then I pretend that there's nothing there. But I see it, a dark shadow stretched across the walls in my room. It smells of flesh and rotten breath, a miscarriage dead in the womb. I try to pretend that I don't see it, hiding behind my dolls. And then it grows taller and I become smaller, then it drops to the floor and it crawls. It attaches itself to the side of my bed and it pulls itself onto my mattress. My mouth gets dry. I'm afraid I will die. I panic, close my eyes till it passes. I'm paralyzed. My body is riddled with fear. My extremities buckle and the monster chuckles in a flash, turns to ash, gone, just disappears. Then I pull the sheets down over my eyes and I peek around my room. The closet door slams, I wipe the sweat from my hands and the monster's now headed for you. So if you think that monsters aren't real, just wait till you're almost asleep. It lives in your closet where it waits and it watches and it strikes when you're almost asleep.
You are another artist that always gives me chills when you read. For
Thank
sure.
you.
And I love your little friend there.
Thank you.
Helping you out. I watch your videos. I see in all your videos you always got your bird squawking in the background or whatever.
Yeah, so he's here tonight.
Yeah, you got your signature. That's your signature sound.
Right.
Do you wanna tell us a little bit about that piece?
So I don't know really. Like I just wanted to write something creepy and scary that would make your hair stand up and get goosebumps. So yeah, so that's what I came up with.
Exactly what it is.
All right. Yeah, it definitely not something I'd read to kids.
Right? I would.
Unless I'm trying to scare them into like just behaving and going to sleep. Like, no more water. Let me read you this real quick.
Right? Yeah, so I was just trying to put myself back into a time when I was a kid, right? Or when you're a kid and you're scared of the monsters, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Anybody else have questions for her?
I must say, I love this poem without the reverb. You could actually hear the words, and it's even more scary.
Oh, good.
August, you had your hand up.
What like inspires you to write the most? I love the poem, and I just love like your expression and like how into it that you get.
Yeah.
I was just wondering like what like inspired you to like start writing and
Oh, I've been writing for a long time. I've been writing since I was probably 12 years old, and it pain and healing and all of that basically inspired me. But the older I got and the more my writing style changed, I like, I don't know, I focus on like, I like horror and like I write about sexual assault, and my main purpose is to get you to feel everything that I'm writing, or visualize it in some way, right?
yeah, I definitely visualized it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was incredible. You have a very, very pronounced speaking voice, especially with like whenever you are speaking your poems. It is awesome. You bring like such an energy that you can't help but visualize it. You can't help but be drawn into the poem.
Thank
I
you.
really liked it.
Thank you.
I love how supportive of each other you guys are and the feedback you guys give. This is awesome. I was a little nervous at first having everybody up here, and it was an idea I was just trying out, but I really love the feedback you guys are giving each other so far. This is awesome. This is awesome. Anybody else have anything to say to her or questions to ask? All right. Well, so let's see. Out of the people who are here, we have only one besides myself who is not gone, and we will introduce him right here. Over here, he's been a little silent. He chimed in a little bit, but what's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
Hold on, let me figure out. There we go. What's up, man? This is my big brother, the oldest Lawler, Brendan Lawler / Shadow. What's up, dude? How you been?
A whole lot. I've been all right, I guess. Work a lot. You know, been a long, hot couple of days, but
Just like 90 degrees where we are.
yeah. It's very, very hot in the mill. Very hot.
Oh yeah, dude.
You'll have that.
I feel you. So are you doing just that one piece that you showed me tonight, or you got a couple pieces with us for us?
I guess I can do two, I suppose.
All right. Well, what's the first one?
The first, I don't really. It's not really named.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
no problem.
I don't know.
All right, man. Let you break out
the too. Like I'm not. It's not really my kind of my thing. I don't really tend to go on camera, much less
Trust
read.
me. I feel you, man. Like, bro, it took me so long to get in front of this camera and do what I'm doing here, and like I was on somebody else's show for a while, and it took a long time. I definitely feel what you're saying. But I'm glad I got you on here.
I'm definitely glad to be here, and everybody's doing fantastic tonight too. I love everybody coming out here.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna get myself up out of here and let you get to it.
All right. She says it's gonna be all right. I say I just want to die. She's got him to keep her safe and hold her tight right by his side. I just walk alone until my demons making me scream and cry. She says go and find your light, but I say I don't want to fight. Voices in my head said that I should just be dead. She asked if I would bleed for her. I said I've always bled. As I lay upon this bed, I'll put it to my head, 'cause all I seem to feel is hurt and all I see is red. As I wallow in my pain, I wish I didn't know your name so that I could just refrain from letting this all in again. I don't know what's been happening. I think I might have lost my brain. I feel like I should kill myself, so I guess I'll go cut both my veins. I'll place my heart upon the shelf. There is no love, there is no wealth. Lost myself to mental health, and you need to change the hand you dealt. For and then your mind melt, and no one will know how you felt. You say that you would like to help with no idea what it's about. You say that we can talk, but we only seem to scream and shout. You take me for a walk, but avoid it like a roundabout. Now all we need is chalk. Drop my story down upon the ground. And that's that.
Hell yeah, man. You didn't even show that one to me. That's dope. That's dope. That's so you want to talk a little bit about it, like what inspired it?
I don't know, just kind of a lot going on at times, you know, and I apologize. I don't come
No,
on.
I know. It's so it's obviously, you know, stems from some kind of heartbreak. Is it like a particular heartbreak, or is it just like a general kind of talking to like all the girls that broke your heart, or just like is it just like I don't know how else to phrase it.
No, I don't know. It's kind of particular, I guess, but I mean that was kind of old. That was from, you know, that's quite a couple of years old now at this point. I tend to just kind of bury a lot of the stuff, write it down.
I have a notebook full of stuff that I'm not sure is ever going to see the light of day, but man, no, I
yeah,
feel you.
I don't really, yeah. So
yeah. So yo, you want to hear what everybody else thinks, because I've told you you're dope a million times. Now I'm gonna prove it to you. Who wants to go first? All right, Beelzebub.
Sorry, I was muted for a second. Anyway, I wanted to say that I really like that poem. I really relate to it because that is a very complicated feeling, but you expressed it very, very well. Your wording and your flow all kind of really conveyed it in a way that I don't think many could, but that is a very relatable feeling.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. So.
Absolutely.
Of course.
August, you guys listen?
I agree a lot with B. It's very relatable, and you just word it so well. Just the kind of like, especially like the beginning, where it's like, go get a life. I just don't want this life anymore. And that's a really relatable feeling whenever you've been through like so much. And yeah.
Thank you.
Uno.
Yeah, because I must say that one really got into my head, because you literally put on paper some of the feelings I would have. And as B said, as August said, that is so deep. You don't even know the nerves you touch with that poem. Because anyone hearing it will relate and just sink into that poem, because that's all we could do. And very bravo. So Dylan, I see why you got your poetry.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's feedback.
Hell yeah, you guys are awesome tonight. Who wants to go next? Here. We've all done one so far, so I guess we'll cycle back to actually we will cycle back to Uno, because a little behind the scenes information here. I have to go get my computer charger and plug my computer in, so we're gonna let him perform while I do that, and then we'll get back to Skedaddle. Okay. So, what is the piece you're going to do for us tonight?
Okay, well, I have two pieces set up, but I'm thinking the way the flow of this going, I'm not going to do the second one that was for you, but I'm going to jump to the third. And if we need to do another one, then I'll go back to that. So the one
All
I'm
right.
doing now is demons.
All right, let's hear it.
Demons, where you at? Lurking in the shadows of the dark, full of full light, haunting the souls those deemed desperate. Ain't it funny? Even more ironic how some in holy halls scream demons as if they hold a truth certificate. Within the churches purportedly near to God, they twist, they tangle, their hearts filled with pride, cherry-pick verses, books they misquote and make up their lies, aligning their plans, the judgment they write, living on the outside, fashioning a deity by their own image, molding a god with their beliefs they deem right. Their claim, their lives are adorned with sweetness, yet their action a hidden spite and vile and venom. Within a sacred place where faith should thrive, some choose to chase coins, blind by divine grace. Wearing masks of devotion, their smiles, their facade, basking in false praise, a deceitful embrace. True belief is not a show, not a game. It's embedded deep within their very core, extending a hand to those on different paths, embracing diversity, understanding more. Religion, spirituality, and faith should unite, not divide. A sanctuary for love of all. Shed those demonization of bitter divides. Answer a true God. Call for erasing the walls. Demons, my friend, do not dwell not only in hearts of those who wander distant paths. Rather, it is in the judging eyes and the jeering tongues skewed that tear apart souls they refuse to choose. Open your eyes, see beyond the mask. Let compassion guide your righteous way. True demons are not the ones we create, but the ones who we cast from our embrace.
Hell yeah, man! I got that computer charger fast, and I was in here for most of that poem. So I like that, dude. Your words, like you have such a way with words, dude. Every time I hear your poem, like you just shock me with how you're able to just phrase things and just like capture the essence of a feeling or of a certain thing. Like circles that you did, you captured the essence of my show. And just what this whole thing is about perfectly, and you do that every time, man. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that poem?
Okay, because from last time when I was on Queen's show, this one actually popped into my head because I see like what is happening, then listening to other people who will say, oh, they ask so and so from whatever religion they want to call themselves for help, and they will never get it. And a lot of people will say certain things that against each other, especially when it comes to people's mental health and disabilities, and they demonize the people who really need the help, and they will scorn them. So, and I see, especially in churches, what they will use is, okay, how can we use not to help the person, but how could we money grab behind it? Mm-hmm. So seeing this really triggered me, especially seeing it in certain situations in my life right now. So I say, this is my version. So just let them know my views.
Hell yeah, man. We got to speak up. We got to speak up, or whenever they're just going to keep sliding it behind the scenes, like you said, doing shit behind the scenes, and we're all going to get just controlled. And I'm going to bring everybody up here real quick and see what they got to say about it. Who would like to ask Uno some questions? August, you went up first.
I just really like the this like the vision that you put out. There's like the first poem you did, and then this one, like you just paint this like picture of like exactly what you would imagine something to be. And it's amazing to me.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Beelzebub.
Yeah, I wanted to say I really love the wording you use. Kind of like the metaphor that you use, but mostly your wording. It really conveyed a strong, like, I understood what you were talking about. I understood why you felt this way about it, and I understood what you were feeling. It was a very strong visual lyric, like type wording, and I really liked that.
Yes, thank you. And I must say with B, I should have asked it because if you notice, my first wardrobe change, I try to match your mask because I just love your mask. Do you make it yourself or?
Oh yes, I've made both of my masks myself. Here's the other one.
And show everybody you added horns since last time you were on the show.
Nice.
Yeah. And my favorite thing about her mask is that she's got these like wired jaw, so it moves with her jaw. It's awesome, and it's like it's perfectly fit to her face, so it moves with her jaw. That's sick.
Thank you.
That's sick.
I did notice the mask. You talked about the mask. I really did notice that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
As ironic as it is for me to say this, I do think more people should see beyond the mask. Like, I think more people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does anybody else have anything you'd like to say to Uno?
Well, can I be honest with one thing though? B?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You see, I actually got a little inspiration from looking at your performances in the mask when I was writing this.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad I can provide inspiration.
Yes. As I say, all of Dylan's special guests, although I may not see it live, but when I go back to it, I always get some inspiration.
Oh yeah.
I'm the same way.
I get inspiration from everybody I bring on the show, for sure. I mean, there's a couple people. I want to collab with everybody. Like I'd be messaging if I had time. I'd be messaging all of you and being like, let's write something together. Let's do something together. And I have messaged a few people, and I plan to message more people to see if we could do something together, because like all of you guys inspire the hell out of me. Like it's awesome. It's just awesome. And I knew this was a good idea. I love the support you guys have for each other, man. It's awesome. Like bringing, like I said, I was nervous about it at first, but you guys are all so supportive and like inspired by each other. So this is great. I realized, guys, that I have not performed yet. I was at the end of that rotation and I did not go. So I'm gonna do something for you real quick, and then we'll get Skedaddle back up here. All right. So I was also, after I'm done doing this, I'm going to bring everybody up and they can ask me questions. So before I perform this, I do want to say I was going to do a different one, but I got a call from a relative today, and it was awesome to hear from them. They said happy birthday, but they said, hey, Dylan, do you think you could maybe write something a little happier? So I have a piece where I address that very thing. So that's what I'm gonna, or part of it addresses that very thing. So that's what I'm gonna do here for you. Give me 1 second. Oh. Gotta pull it up here on my fancy computer here. It's giving me issues all night long. There we go. All right. This one is called Brick Walls and Pitfalls. I try to pick up the pen and pretend I'm an artist, but I just stick to the trend of not getting started. This brick wall in my head has become a new constant. I feel sick. I'm in bed using these meds trying to find a new process, because trying to process my losses and all this constant nonsense is making me feel like my conscience is lost in the darkness. The monsters and skeletons deep in my closet spin me in circles. They're making me nauseous. I'm at war with my demons. They're taking me hostage. They torture my feelings. They're making me watch it. My terror attacks and my heart is the target. And now suddenly I am back where I started, back on a bender till I fall on the carpet, back on a battlefield, putting shots back for my dearly departed. And during the day, you can't look at my face and tell that I'm empty and hollow. But look at the page and look at the bottle, because I always say that I'll try tomorrow. So the boozers erased and the words they were swallowed, then puked on the ground. Now I am face down while I lay here and drown in my sorrow. And I don't know why every verse that I write starts with me trying to survive in my mind and ends with me crying, passing out, puking, or dying. I've got everyone gasping and sighing like, why can't you write something happy? Write about goals that you have and write about making them happen. Write us some scenes where you're laughing. Why do you always fall back into this gloom that you say that you're trapped in? I told him I'm glued to the blackness, like a symbiote suit we're attracted. I'm all for the doom, it's fantastic, but you should marvel the way that I mask it in public like Superman's glasses, because I'm the comic relief for the masses, but my origin story is tragic, because I was told to always hold back and hold on to the rage and the sadness. I was told that I had to be passive. So when I get mad, it's making my ego get massive. I'm turning green, breaking free from the evil and smashing the walls I put up in my head till they're ashes, because now I can finally master this passion. Because see, this is a scene you were asking to see. This is a scene where I'm laughing. This is a scene that'll be the most graphic. No true to your piece, you can see me almost ready to snap and you'll tweak when you see me about to go savage on the demons and doubters and naggers. Because that's how I see my way out of the deep shadow of doubt from my past, when it falls on me like a shroud and my world gets darker than I imagine it will be. Well, everything around me blackens and it feels like I walk down a path that's surrounded by trees where the reaper peeks at me from between the saplings. But there ain't no route around it. That's the street I stand my ground in. It's the only place my feet feel grounded. What I mean is that being proud to be myself is the only way I'll be able to get through this hell and leave my enemies all astounded. All right, let me load back up here. Are we still live? Are we still good? My computer's glitching the fuck out.
So Wonder Woman,
hang on,
in her eyes, her heart, and soul, there's a fire, a burning passion and desire, breaking free from the change, shattering all those constraints. She is strong, she's fierce, a force to be reckoned with, no fear. She stands tall with her head held high. With every step, she defies every lie. She is the embodiment of power, a symbol of strength that towers above those who seek to bring her down. She wears her crown with an unwavering frown. She's a warrior, a fighter, a beacon of hope and a rescuer. She fights for justice and equality. She stands out against every misogyny, and as Trini say, Mama Guy. She is the essence of grace, the true epitome of beauty. Her strength lies in her heart, her power and unbreakable spirit. She is a force to be reckoned with, a true inspiration, a gift. She is what a Wonder Woman in all her glory, a story that will live on in history.
Okay, guys, I apologize for that technical difficulties. My whole computer went wonky when I tried to switch back from my poem back to the stream, but we're still running, we're still live, we're still good. So if I remember correctly, I believe we had Skedaddle coming up next. Actually, no, if I remember correctly, people were going to ask me questions, so we're going to do that next. All right. Oh, I'm glad we're still alive. That was...
I'm proud of you for powering through.
Thanks for still being here.
Oh, Jesus.
I believe Dylan turned 22. He has got old man brain now.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I've read poems on here before, and my computer's never had problems clicking back and forth between the tabs, but something happened.
You're just too powerful.
Did you guys hear the poem?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So, who wants to ask me or talk to me or whatever?
I did just want to say though that you know, every time you perform something, I always notice your particular flow. You know, you have moments where you are, you know, you're spitting it forward as if you are trying to like command them to understand and see this, and then you have moments where you're kind of like asking them to. It's a very switched of a like flow that you do whenever you speak your poems, and I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have that dual like nature in my head all the time about pretty much everything. I'm indecisive as fuck, you know, and it plays into everything I write. I kind of have that dual nature. One side telling me one thing and another telling me other thing. So I'm kind of like writing from both sides at the same time. So yeah. Anybody else? Lauren.
Okay, so Dylan, what are some of the major things that you consider that will be your muse in creating your poetry?
So, can you repeat the question?
Okay, you know how I could find everything, like I was inspired by Beelzebub and Laurel.
Okay, so what are some of the things that like that are inspirational to me that I like? My muse, my
yes.
Okay. I mean, man, I draw inspiration from everything around me. It's most of it, like my relative was pointing out earlier tonight, is dark shit, and it comes from, you know, inside my brain, and just like the struggles I've been through, and my struggles with mental health and depression and whatnot. And like I said, that dual nature, just one side telling me one thing and the other side telling me the other thing. But also, I mean, from everything around me, man, my family, nature. I love to be out in nature. I took like a 3-hour nature hike today with my family. I mean, you know, so those are two things that definitely inspire me. And all of you guys and this show and just the support from everybody, man, it boosts me up so much. Like, since I started doing this, I've written so many things, and like I've put a few of them out, and a couple that, you know, they're in the vault, but they're just things that I don't think I would have been able to write without like you guys' support, and just like for like all the not just the support from you guys, but like hearing you guys' stuff and hearing all the different kinds of art, and it really influences me and inspires my craft. So is there anybody else who'd like to ask a question? Laura.
I just want to say I freaking love you. Stop it. I love you. I love you. I love you. I can listen to you for hours. When you share a poem, Dylan, I will listen to it over. Hang on a second. I will listen to
but your bird loves me too.
Yes, he does. I will listen to it over and over and over again. It's just the way you sew your words together. It's so powerful and poetic. And then the way you go back and forth with your demons is just epic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, like I couldn't do it without that kind of support and those kind of comments and just it's awesome. The feedback I'm getting from everybody.
Okay, you gotta
Thank
go.
you guys so much.
Odin really liked you.
I can see that. Give him a cracker or something,
man.
For me.
I just want to say I'm really glad you stuck with it, bro. I think you're doing an awesome thing.
Thanks, man. Especially from you, that means a lot. Like I said, my family means a lot to me, and I'm so happy you came on tonight, man. Thank you.
Of course, buddy.
So we're gonna get Skedaddle up here for a second piece, and then we're gonna do a brief intermission at halftime, and then we'll come back and we'll do a few more. All right. Click. Hey, you still alive over there? I think you're muted.
Barely.
Barely. Okay. Well, you're still with us, so that's good. You're getting through. What are you gonna share with us next?
One of my mandalas. You know my.
Oh, is this? Okay. Is this one untitled?
Yes.
Is it?
Yep.
Is this the one you wanted to share?
Yes.
That one? Okay. All right.
Well,
that's wow. That's a Hold on, so you can see my face. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. You want to talk about like how you started, where you started?
So I don't really have an inspiration for these, except they're very calming to do. And I'm hoping to get these put on tapestries shortly and sell those. So I just want that to be known to everyone that these will hopefully be Which way?
If they're tapestries, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna hang it right above the Lostboys poster, right up here, right up here.
Yeah, that looks dope.
My sister says she wants one to hang on her wall.
Bet.
Hell yeah. So is there like, were you just kind of
I was doodling.
Just free drawing? Is there any kind of like thought process behind it? Just like do it, getting it out there, and that is awesome.
This took about 4 hours to do, and it's so calming to do. I highly suggest for anyone with anxiety to start doing mandalas. It doesn't matter if you can draw or not.
That is awesome. Like there's so many different like intricate little and I'm seeing that it's trippy as hell. Like I don't know if I'm seeing butterflies and hearts,
or you're seeing butterflies and hearts.
Okay, all right, yeah. This is trippy as hell. Let's see what everybody else has to say about it.
I think it's mesmerizing.
Thank you.
I love it.
I see
a pony. I didn't see hearts and butterflies. I saw a pony.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want people to interpret my art any way that they can. So if you saw a pony, then there's a pony in there. You know what I mean?
There's a pony with 2 pink ears.
Like
yes. Yes.
I like that.
I said this for your last art piece. I'm a big like color person. I like all the swirling colors that go over the pattern. I just really like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely be very intricate.
I would 100% buy a tapestry with that, and I'm not even a big fan of tapestries. I just absolutely love mandalas.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think you can get them printed at Walmart for like $15. So that's my plan.
I think you can.
I need
Yeah, I
some
think that is something that can happen.
Yes, I could see it. For me, I don't really like the physical. I like it like how I do my backgrounds for my Zoom meetings. I could use those things. So I am willing to take one on the 15th of November for my birthday.
Bet. I'll do that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, she makes some dope shit. So you're skedaddle, you're heading out of here for the at halftime. All right,
Yeah.
cool, cool. So we'll catch you again on the next show or whenever you come back on or whatever. And it was good to have you on.
Good,
Great, thanks
good
for
to
coming
be
out tonight.
on. Thank you. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Peace out.
Bye.
I really hope to see you again.
All right, guys. So everyone else, I have a clip prepared that I'm going to present for halftime. We can all go to the bathroom, do what we need to do, whatever the case may be. So let me just get that set up real quick, and then we can all enjoy a nice halftime break,
How long is the break?
if it would ever load. This is fantastic time. If I could freak All right, let me get everybody out of here.
Hey, boss, how long's the break?
The clip's about 35 minutes long.
All right.
So yeah, I'll catch you guys around around 10 o'clock. Sorry.
All right.
All right. Let's see if I can get this to work here, guys. We have a few guests from the show who I interviewed earlier in the week before I got my nice due. And I'm gonna play this recorded for you. Enjoy it. All right, guys. So this is the 30-minute intermission to our 4-hour show. What I'm going to do is I've got a couple guests here from the show. All right, guys. So this is the 30-minute intermission to our 4-hour show. What I'm going to do is I'm got a couple guests here from the show, and I'm just going to ask a couple questions, some personal questions, some questions about mental health, just to get to know you guys better and whatnot, how your brain works a little bit better. So my first question is, how are you guys? Genuinely, how are you? Not just like I'm okay, like a legit answer, because I feel like people ask you how you are all day, and your first response is, oh, I'm good, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it is, sometimes not, but genuine answer. Who wants to go first?
August.
All right. So neither of you. All right. Honestly, I'm all right. Depression and mental health is something I deal with on a daily basis. Lately, I've just been really excited for this show. Obviously, the show is coming up 3 days from when we're recording this. I've been super excited for it, but also a little nervous and like stressed out trying to get everything together and planned out and whatnot. So that's how I'm doing. How about myself?
So, if we're like genuinely talking about mental health and shit, I was just recently diagnosed with, instead of dissociative identity disorder, I was diagnosed with schizoactive paranoia. That's how my mental health is going. I don't know how I feel about that diagnosis. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
For people who don't really know much about that, because I'm not sure. You want to come to
So I do have hallucinations and delusions of like my anxiety when people aren't in my direct view. It looks like they are staring directly at me, and people in my head are yelling at me and telling me I look stupid. That so it's pocket schizophrenia.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's interesting to fit. But that's definitely
It's how my psychiatrist did.
That's a psychiatrist actually described it. It's interesting.
It's pretty.
You just little ball of fucking.
Yeah. So it's like yeah.
What about
But
you? How are you doing?
Kind of iffy, like back and forth between being good and not being great. Yesterday wasn't a great day. Today's a little bit better. Yesterday kind of deal with some stuff with my parents, and it went really bad really quick.
It does generally with family. That's
Yeah.
how it goes, especially with family. Those are the worst fights. Those are the worst. But I'm saying for a new diagnosis or whatever, the most important thing, like you said, is to take it day by day and just like, you know what I mean? Like, so like I woke up this morning, I was not really feeling ready for the day or ready to do anything, but you just gotta like maybe I'll be okay in like an hour, you know, just sit and relax or something, you know what I mean? Like there's always something. So it kind of that, I mean, we kind of answered this question already, but it kind of leads me into the next question, which is what's a challenge you faced recently to do with your mental health, and how did you overcome it or cope with it? And if you want, I will again go first. I think one of the biggest challenges I've faced lately is, like I said, I'm very scatterbrained and my organization skills aren't very good. And to do this show, you need a lot of organizational skills. And I tend to get very stressed out and overwhelmed, and sometimes take it out on the others around me. And sometimes what I do to cope with that is I need to just learn to just set the phone down and walk away from whatever it is I'm working on or doing at the time, because sometimes it's just I get too focused on it and too engaged in it. I'm just like super obsessed with it, and I can't think of anything else, and I can't focus on anything else till I get it done. But that's not always the best thing. But so that's one of my biggest challenges and how I cope with it. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. One of my biggest challenges is productivity. I'm in like emotional and physical level. I'm in pain like a lot of times, so it's hard to get out of bed and like actually clean and do shit for myself. And I do have to do a lot of my cleaning sitting down because you know how my legs are, Dylan.
Yeah.
So that's how I cope. I sit down and clean most of the time. I have to sit in the I sit to do pretty much anything. That's one of my biggest challenges now. I cope.
I understand. August?
Mostly processing and dealing with trauma. It's been not recently, but like for a long time I haven't gone to therapy, and I've somewhat recently started getting into therapy again. Read some of the stuff about stuff with my family and stuff that happened to me in high school, And she was like, "You do realize that that is trauma, right?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
And sometimes you don't always like, you just think of it as like, oh no, this is just how I grew up. I don't,
Yeah.
you don't know anything different. Someone points out to you, no, dude, you're you
Yeah.
you got issues you need to deal with, and sometimes that's the first step, is just like confronting the issues.
Yes. And just lately, especially like I said, I got in a bit of a thing with my family yesterday. Like that was part, like they pretty much told me something about how with my mental health, I'm just a bunch of added responsibility. And I lost it.
Yeah, I can see how that would be triggering. Yeah. We got Beelzebub coming in here. I'm gonna bring her up real quick and just fill her in real quick. Hey, how you doing? We're recording right now. We're recording the intermission. So far, we've gone through like 2 questions. So I'll just ask you real quick. The first question is, how are you doing, like, for real?
On a real level, I would say, well, I haven't been okay, but that's kind of like the real talk of my entire life. But I would say that I'm surviving. I know for some people that kind of means, oh, you're at the bottom of the barrel, but if the bottom of the barrel is all you know, then surviving just kind of feels good sometimes.
Yeah, we were actually, I mean, we were kind of just touching on that a little bit. Is, you know, she was saying that her therapist or guidance counselor or whatever had pointed out that she had trauma that she didn't even know about, and it's just kind of like, well, when it's all you know, it's just all you know. You know, you don't really think it's just your life. You don't really think of it as like, but compared to other days, how are you doing? If you had to put a rating on it.
I would say today's a good day.
That's good. That's good. The other question that we already went over is, what's a challenge that you faced recently that affected your mental health, and how did you cope with it or deal with it?
Well, recently I had somebody living in my house who shouldn't have been here. And I had to make a couple hard choices, a lot of criticisms and stuff from family. Had to protect myself and things like that, and it impacted my mental health. I mean, last night I had a night, but it's just kind of the way it's impacted my mental health, I guess, is just by reopening old wounds or maybe creating new ones. I'm not entirely sure. Situations still forever. I'm learning.
Yeah, you're still processing all of it, going, figuring out. And I currently live in a house with more people than I would like, and that's pretty much been my whole life. I've lived in a house with a lot of people, and there's always that one or those 2 people that you're not gonna ever be okay with them being there. And it's just not. No, I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
exactly that.
So,
am I in camera frame, by the way?
What's that?
Am I in frame?
Yeah.
So.
Did you?
Can't actually see anything.
Did you add horns to your mask, or were those already there?
I added them.
Oh, you did? That's super cool.
I was about to ask that.
So cool.
I was like, I don't think those were there before. Yeah, that's super cool. So the next question, I guess it's a little more general than personal. What is when I say mental health, what does that mean to you personally, and why is it important to you? And I'll start. I'll start off. Mental health to me, I think, is less of like. I think people think of mental health as more of like a movement and less of like a state of being. Very few people actually think about their own mental health as in a like in their state of being. Like, do I feel literally mentally healthy? And that doesn't mean you have to be happy necessarily. Just healthy. Am I doing things like? Am I in a place in my life that I want to be? If not, am I doing things to move towards that? Do I feel good about myself mentally? And if the answer is no, that's 100% okay. And that most times for me, the answer is no. I don't really feel good about myself. I have to work to put myself on camera because I don't feel like I even deserve to be here. But I think that like when I think of mental health, it's like when my perfect picture of my own mental health would be making a living off what I love doing, and feeling like I'm doing everything that I guess I can to be where I want to be in my life. You can't always get to where you want to be exactly, but as long as you're kind of doing everything you can to like be in the mental state you want to be, and like, you know what I mean? Like there's times when I want to just lay in bed and not in bed on my phone, and that would be a mentally unhealthy thing to do. The mentally healthy thing to do is get your ass out of bed, splash some cold water in your face, and listen to music, have a smoke, go whatever it is you do. But I think that mental health is just taking the steps to make yourself as positive and healthy and productive as you can. And I think it's important for me because, mental health obviously plays a big part in what I do with the show and with writing and whatnot. So it's very important there, but it's important in my everyday life because I have to like maintain a medical or, a psych hospital or something like that. So that's why it's important to get talks or whatnot. Who else would like to speak on that?
It's pretty much like you said for me, like a thing like worldly and that. It's played a big part in my life. It's played a big part in my family's lives, and it's just something that like people need to know that it's okay not to be okay. You can speak out, to somebody that you trust and not much. Like that's a big thing. That's right. It's important to know like you should be allowed to speak about what's going on, how you're feeling. You want to be criticized or judged or not. I'm actually like, other than it just being important to me and what I've gone through and what my siblings have gone, like everything, it's just like I'm trying to like develop like a career in mental health and psychology. I'm trying to be a therapy specialist for alcohol and drug prevention, and like
wow,
it's been a thing that's affected my life and like family and friends' lives, and that's like what I want to do for a living is help people with drug and alcohol addiction.
I support that 100%. I love that. I mean, for a while I thought about like going into some kind of therapy or something like that. It's that I admire you because that takes a hell of a lot of work, and you got your work cut out for you for sure. But it's definitely worth it. It's a worthy cause, and I appreciate that. That's awesome. And I hope you're able to help some people. We even if like I said, and I always say on the show, like we're helping people just by doing this.
Yeah.
Just by doing this, talking, just by writing, we're helping people just by doing this. So you're already starting, and you're already halfway there. Um, who else would like to speak on it?
I can. Um, mental health is, I mean, what it means to me, I mean, it really is something my entire life revolves around. And it does in, a way that it's beneficial for myself, for everyone I love, and also kind of like August, it is a dream career of mine. But mental health really is, I guess, state of being is a good way to describe it, but because I am who I am, it's more like mental health is sun, and every day it's just trying to revolve around it in general, just for everything, not just me, but it's just mental health is one of those things that is so rarely given attention that it deserves in the way that it deserves. Because, you can raise mental health awareness as much as you want, but there's still going to be this impact of, are you reaching the right people? Are you talking about this in the right way for those people? And it's something that you just have to discover over time through like trial and error. And I think mental health is extremely important. I would honestly, to me, in general, it's
Yeah, I mean, we have to. If we don't focus on mental health, we can't do anything else. Our own mental health comes first. You can't do anything. You can't even get yourself dressed in the morning if you're batshit insane, drooling at the mouth. But we have to focus on keeping ourselves sane. That is the first and foremost priority. Is focusing. 100% agree. Uh, Skedaddle, would you like to talk about?
Everything that was said is what I was gonna say. So.
All right. I can move on to the next question then. Sort of. What are what's your favorite coping mechanism, and sort of how did you discover it, and like.
Art. Oh, art has been my coping mechanism since I could pick. I remember the reason into therapy is because of how much of a coping mechanism art was for me. I showed it off to my therapist.
Wow.
But,
Instead of you need help. Teachers.
no, and counting. Counting is also an amazing coping mechanism that not many people really know about.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that from my guidance counselors at one point, was that he does prime in his head, only the prime ones, and when you it's easy to remember the first few, but then once you get up high enough, you're like 200, and you know what I mean. You can't, and is what it does.
I love counting. Counting is good.
Um, what do you do, Beelzebub, when you're stressed out?
Well, my first coping mechanism, I would say, is just create things. I tried to do art. I used to be a big art person. Kind of the same story as Skedaddle. One of the bigger things that got me into therapy was, I think it was actually my bus driver found a drawing I had, and it was a very bad. in the mental health sense drawing, and that's kind of what got therapy started for me. But I've always been creative. Poetry isn't now, but I would say the coping mechanisms I use most commonly are DBT skills. If I can show something off real quick, this might be slightly embarrassing on my end, but this is my wall of DBT skills.
Okay, all right.
May I ask?
Skedaddle is not familiar. Can you explain that to her a little bit?
Just DBT skills?
Yeah.
DBT is a style of therapy that's commonly used for that really need to unwind. And DBT skills, they're usually acronyms and stuff that help deal with emotional regulation, mindfulness, distress tolerance, and interpersonal relationships, which I'm a family love. It's really neat. It's my favorite form of therapy I've found, and it's what I hope to become in the future as a DBT centered therapist.
I like that. That is interesting and unique. Like I've been to all the therapists there are, and I've tried almost all of it. Everything from meditation to counting to everything. So, but that is probably one of the more like unique methods that I've, and also your wall. That's really cool. I like how you have it all organized. It keeps your thoughts out. It like
it's just like how
it's right in front of you, so you can look at it every day and see it.
Yeah, it's the psychology nerd in me. There's also a little bit of neuroscience stuff up there.
I mean, it's a little beautiful mind, you know, but it's August, you have not gone yet, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite mechanism?
Main thing, and probably my only thing, is writing. Poetry or short stories or role play stuff. That was something I've done that since like middle school. And that's again another thing that got me into therapy. I showed it to a teacher, and my teacher was like, "This is not good."
Usually that's what happens. I'm just like, well, I'm not out there like hurting people. I'm just writing.
Yeah, writing trees, and she was like, "Let me just take you to a counselor real quickly."
Yeah.
You know what? I think you need to talk to someone.
Exactly.
I actually looked at a therapist and I was like, you know what? I think you need to talk to someone. It's not the right thing to say to a therapist. I would recommend
Turn the table.
How the turntable.
Yeah, turn it on them.
Reverse psychology. I think you need to be listening to me, actually.
Yeah, just you walk in their office, just sit at their desk. Okay, so how does that make you feel? So obviously my coping mechanism, it's writing. But also I love nature, man. Like I live in the middle of nowhere, and I mean I'll write out there in nature too, but sometimes I'll just sit out there and listen to the trees, or I'll got audiobooks and music and stuff like that. But I mean sometimes, man, it's just good to just turn off the phone and listen to nature too. And that's definitely something that gets me back in the right headspace, just being out like in a clearing, or I just walk down and find a stump that looks comfortable and sit on it. That's how I clear my mind. That's definitely one of my biggest coping mechanisms when I can't write or when I need a space to go write, and get it out that way. So what is my next question here? What was your experience like and your perspective on mental health as like a younger kid, and then how has it changed, and what's your experience and perspective on it now? I'll go first. I didn't actually, before we recorded this, didn't think of any of my answers to these questions. So this is right off the top of the head. I would say that I was younger. Well, when I was a lot younger, I was a lot happier. I don't think my mental health issue started until I was around like 8 or 9, and it was always something that like I didn't understand why I got so angry. I didn't understand, why my I would go high and then low and then high and then low or whatever. I've never actually been officially diagnosed with bipolar, but I do have those highs and lows. And as a young kid, it's very hard to understand that. And so it's scary in a way, but it's also just like you were saying earlier, it's just all really, it's so it's not like a different thing to you. Once somebody, and this goes into how I feel about it now and my perspective has changed. Once somebody puts a label on it and like tells you like you're bipolar or you have ADHD or like whatever, it changes the whole game. It makes you feel like you don't have this condition. It makes you feel like you are this condition. And one of the most important things that I always say with anybody who has any type of mental health condition is you are not your condition. You have this condition, which it does not define you. You are not what the doctor labeled you as. And nowadays, I mean, back when our parents were kids, they didn't even have names for half of this shit. And nowadays, they're coming up with even more names for stuff that we called anxiety. You know what I mean? Now there's like different sections of things, different, like, you know what I mean? They're labeling everything, and I'm sorry. You want to speak?
No, it's just fact that my.
Oh, you have to head out. That's okay.
Yeah,
no
I mean.
We'll catch you later. No problem.
Catch you later. How do I?
Like saying, sorry. I was saying. I lost.
I lose thoughts so quickly too.
Yeah, that's what I mean about being scatterbrained. I do remember what I was saying about how my perspective has changed. Though is once I don't think it's great that people are putting all these labels on it. It's good that they're studying the science and bringing more awareness to it. But I think all these labels are very scary to kids, and they can have a negative impact on them. But we're back. We're actually almost out of time. I just got a couple more questions. Actually, really, it's one question, but it's a kind of a two-part question. Is there anything that's been on your mind lately? Anything that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about? And I guess the second part of the question is, if you could have the whole world's attention for 5 minutes, what would you say? I'm gonna get Beelzebub's back up. I'm gonna repeat the question. And then we'll get out of here. Two-part question. First of all, anything that's been on your mind lately that we didn't cover that you'd like to talk about? And second, if you could have the whole world's attention for 5 minutes, what would you say?
I can first. So the first question, if there's anything on my mind that we haven't talked about yet, well, I really do just want to urge people watches this to, even if you don't feel comfortable going to a therapist yet, even if you don't feel comfortable with the fear of getting a diagnosis, I would start Googling. I started for myself was really just delving deep into Google and just looking up coping mechanisms and doing my own research. You can find things out about yourself without needing to figure out what is wrong with you. Just if you always look for ways to better yourself, you will start finding ways to better yourself and make things feel less bad. So that's just one thing, I want to motivate people to help themselves. But if I had the world's attention for 5 minutes, I think I would I think I might just say that same exact thing. Some people won't even understand me because I don't speak every language to exist, but at least.
Yeah, you definitely have a very strong way of learning things. You definitely reach. I think you'll reach a lot of people with your message. You definitely, every time you come on the show, I get tons of feedback from other people who like your message and how it works. Would you like to?
Pretty much just kind of like I said earlier. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to reach out for help. I think that's just a really important thing that people are still learning how to do. We're so independent and forget how to ask for help whenever we need it. And I honestly, if I had the world's attention for 5 minutes, I would say that exact same thing, like be just needs to ask for help. Dylan, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's showing that you're.
How long has that been there? Anyway.
I'm so confused.
It was funny that you guys were muted. I could not hear you guys. It sounded like you guys were underwater. It's my phone, guys. I'm rocking with the Android circa 2014, okay?
It's not going to run perfect. I will say what I said over again. So people don't just That's gonna be such a fun time for them. Just watching me go. Anyway, what I did say when I was muted was what. Hang on, I have to mute you because I'm echoing. Okay. What I said while I was muted was that exactly what they were saying. It is okay not to be but also it is going to be okay. My mom had a saying. She used to say, "This too shall pass." It's kind of I think it's a quote from the Bible, and it means that we've been through this before. There's been pain in the past, and this is the most important thing to remember is we've been through this before. We'll get through it again, and just keep fighting through the dark times to get to the light ones. And that's what life's all about. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Is there anything else you want to say before we head out of here?
Nope. I can't think of it.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Peace out.
Peace.
All right, guys. Well, it was a little skippy. It was a little glitchy, but I hope you guys enjoyed that intermission. It was a short break. I hope you guys enjoyed. Those of you who watched it, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. I definitely like getting to know those guests a little bit better and get inside their heads. And if you guys like that kind of thing, I'm hoping to do like more longer length episodes like that, where we just kind of talk and just go inside each other's heads a little deeper. That being said, we're gonna actually before we keep the show rolling. Last week we had a vote for the top artist of last week, and they actually tied. All four of them tied. So I just want to give a shout out to all four of these artists right here. They were amazing artists. Freaking go check them out. Go watch last week's episode so you can see their performances and check out their social medias and whatnot. Beelzebub, she's on here again with us tonight. Big Bird, Influence the Masses, Shannon. We're gonna get them all back up here again. They were all awesome, but I just want to give them a shout out real quick. And a shout out to my producer Brandon for running the show for me and throwing up our tags and whatnot. Yeah, let's get on with the show, guys. So if my memory serves me right, Uno has done 2, and next in the cycle, I believe we would bring Laura Lynn back up, or August. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna click on Laura Lynn and hope she's ready. Hey.
Hi. Yeah, I am. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated too. I couldn't remember which person went next, but yeah, what's this one called?
Okay, so this is Monsters Are Real Part 2 from the monster's perspective.
All right, cool. Let's hear it.
I'm watching you from behind your closet door. Mom's tucking you in with your teddy. I'm peeking out through the shutters and I'm waiting for your mother to shut the light out. Close the door, I get ready. Then quietly, I slither out from the closet and I creep across your bedroom floor. Then I vanish when you panic, reappear more gigantic dolls off of shelves into drawers. I'm fierce, I'm wicked and cunning. I grow when you're riddled with fear. My intent is to shake you and startle and wake you, disappear and reappear in your mirror. And I ain't that fairy tale kind of monster either, the kind that you read in storybooks before bed. I'm alive and I'm real and I'm here for my meal. I'm the monsters that all the kids dread. I like the taste of little children. They don't get stuck in my teeth. They're more tender when they're younger and their bones are much softer and their flesh is more salty and sweet. So all the bullshit lies that your mom tells you that monsters are just make-believe, they just care that you're scared and it's really not fair. They just want you to go to sleep. So you can try and hide from me beneath the covers while you cry with your teddy. I'll crawl up through the sheets from the bottom of your feet, take your life, say goodnight. I am deadly.
Hell yeah, I like that one. I'm pretty sure I've seen that one on YouTube.
Yeah.
I like that one, and I like the video that goes with it. For those of you out there who don't know, she's also like a digital artist. She makes like videos to go along with her poetry, and they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, the videos are a lot scarier and creepier than when I just rehearse it to you. For sure, you gotta go check them out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely go check them out. But you definitely have a way of making us feel it anyway. And you're, like I said, you're one of those artists where I get chills down my spine when you read. So
Perfect.
For
Awesome,
sure. Let's see what everybody else has to say about it. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say to Laura Lynn? Beelzebub.
Yeah, I wanted to say I really like, the difference between. I really like the difference between the first one and then this one.
You might want to move a little closer to your mic.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I really like the difference between the first one and this one, the way that it was said, the theme behind it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I thought it would be neat to tell the story from the monster's perspective, or the boy's perspective, and then the monster's perspective. I pictured myself as being the monster when I wrote it, and then I pictured myself as being the little kid when I wrote the other one.
I always loved the monster more. And this just made it a lot better.
I always say the villain of any story is like the most interesting character, because like they have the most backstory, the most pain. Like you can like really get inside their head. Like I mean, all the Disney villains, all the villains, like they have just such a more like deeper I love getting inside like that mindset, and a lot of my stuff is like that. I have one that I might do for you guys later, where it's very similar. I kind of do, like I was talking about earlier, the dual nature of, what the victim or whatever, the bystander, and then the monster, the demon. But yeah, I really love that, and I love how it's like a story. It's like a duality. One doesn't fit without the other. But yeah.
Right. Thank you. I'm looking forward to that poem that you're going to read. I think I know which one it was. I think it's my favorite one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say to Laurelyn?
I just think every time you come on, you definitely have a very unique way of speaking your poems or your writing.
Thank you.
She does indeed.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I love, again, for the millionth time, I love hearing all the feedback from you guys to each other. It's awesome. And it's what I do this for. And if people like this kind of thing, I know we've had some glitches and whatnot, but if people like this kind of thing, again, this is something I'll start doing in the future, is having other artists up to share their opinions. So I appreciate you guys doing the test run with me.
That's fun.
I actually like this format rather than you talking by yourself. It gives more of a nice family discussion on each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was going
to change or what to add to your poetry.
I mean, low key, I just threw myself an online birthday party. That's all I did. I was like, all right, who can I call? It's just, yeah.
Sometimes if you want something done right,
Ghostbusters wasn't on the list, so I called you guys. Yeah. It's definitely like what I was going for. A nice, relaxed, chill vibe, a bunch of friends, family, just relaxing and chilling. That's awesome.
That's cool, man. I'm glad it came out.
Hell yeah, man. I can't remember, but I think August is up next. So we'll get her up here real quick. I'm gonna get carpal tunnel from clicking so much. Click.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's the next one you're doing for us?
It's called The Transition. It's a shorter one, but still has.
All right. Jump.
I was never happy as a girl. The pictures you see with long blonde curls and baby blue eyes, that wasn't me. It never has been. It felt wrong every time I was placed in the frilly dresses and those tangled blonde curls brushed into. It felt awful whenever I started having to wear the wired bras that made my chest feel bigger than it was. All of it was awful. So I cut my hair, started wearing the binders, and started calling myself a man. That was whenever I felt the most comfortable in my skin. My body felt more like home.
You're right. That was short. I was not. I was really enjoying it and like processing it and taking it in, and then it ended, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But it. Yeah. I mean, with like just being. It doesn't have to be long to like convey a lot of meaning, and you definitely did. Is that like something recent that you wrote, or something old, or?
It's fairly recent. Kind of like I don't want to say coming out poem because I came out as trans like a while ago, but it's like something that I didn't really convey in that way for a really long time, and it just kind of like came to me like, hey, maybe I should write this.
Yeah. I mean, I write about, even if I don't share it with the public or whatever. Like I said, I have a lot of vault poems, but I write about everything that's important in my life and anything significant in my life, and that's definitely very significant. But even though it is like kind of an old thing, I still appreciate you coming on and sharing it with us and speaking your truth with us, because no matter how many times or how many people you speak your truth to, it's always takes the same amount of bravery, and it's always still is nerve-wracking. Like, are people gonna like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. So I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna bring everybody up here to see what they think about it. Who would like to go first? Beelzebub, let's go.
I really like this poem. I relate to it personally, and it really conveys that feeling of talking to someone that knows you as who you were and has the chance of never seeing you as who you are. It
Yes.
has that sensation of trying your hardest to explain to them the sensations you feel, how it hurts you, and just kind of knowing that it's not going to change a single thing. I really
Yeah.
like it. I've always been a fan of your work, and I really love this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I found that it's placed really set nicely, where you have to not only think about what others think of you, but in the sense of mental health, what do you think about yourself? And how would you be comfortable in your own skin?
Right. It's definitely something that like I've struggled to advocate for myself for, like just kind of like, hey, like these are my pronouns. This is what I decide to go by. This is how I view myself, and I've gotten positive feedback for it. I've gotten negative feedback for it, and it's just been kind of like, do I want to share this or do I want to like just brush it off to the side and just leave it there?
There's always going to be negative feedback with everything, no matter what the fuck it is. There's always going to be negative feedback. So fuck those people
Yes.
and fuck what they have to say, and just do you. That's
just
amazing.
the mantra: haters make you greater.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else have anything they want to say to August?
I think it was it was short and sweet and to the point. And I applaud your bravery for coming out and sharing and everything, and I love every time you come out and share.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us. I believe Beelzebub, you have not done 2 yet, right?
Nope.
Okay, we'll bring you up next, and then we'll get my brother up here. All right, what's this one called?
Just and true.
Just and true. All right.
On the day God is unmerciful and commands for fallen knee for the chance of peace, find me at hell's gates with the shiver of betrayal. I will suffer for eternity if God is unkind and listens to the tongues of those who said God could only love you if you were devoted like the brainwashed babes of Baptist empires. If God is unmerciful with all its knowledge, then no God I will meet. If God watched the endurance of war and the violence of its loyal swordsmen onto the backs of unsaved souls and allows the swords to drip their blood through the pearly gates and allows the open wounds of the damned to sizzle among hell's heated grounds, then find me at the edge of Satan's sulfur pit. Find me belittled and damned. Find me with no sin besides the fact I believed the preacher when he said God loved me as no human could. If God is human enough to snarl its disgrace and banish its pain for the mere blemish of a soul touched by the very man it created, then leave me to burn, for I have been lied to. I have been lied to by dirty hands that will touch God's robes. Let me singe and let me scorch. Let me suffer as I have here on earth, if yet another man has taken the steed in my desperation for peace and used it to punish me for the very wounds its own children drowned me within. Just and true were human-made words to describe a selection of agreeable and preferred.
That was intense. That was my first thought when the second you started reading, it was like, this is going to be an intense one. Can you tell us a little bit about when you wrote it, and then also why you wrote it.
I wrote this one a couple days ago, but this is an emotion I've been struggling with since I was a child. As for why, as a child, I went through something, an experience that I think many people will not be able to claim they've ever had to go through, and it changed fundamentally me at a very real, serious level. And ever since then, it's my journey with faith has been kind of constantly climbing a ladder when it keeps breaking underneath you.
I understand that. I mean, I'm not very religious. Mostly for the same reason. I mean, I have looked into almost every religion out there, and I mean, one of the reasons I'm not religious is because I can't get along with anybody, and I think that if I added religion to it, you know, things would get a whole lot worse. You know, everybody has an opinion, and everybody gets mad about their opinion, especially when it comes to religion. But I understand what you mean about sort of like trying to find a direct path, and it kind of like, you know, it keeps slipping out from underneath you. But yeah, absolutely. I'll bring everybody up here, and we can see what they think. Who would like to go first?
Yes, I going first because Beelzebub. That fits perfect with my demon piece. And I noticed something with your name because my name on my socials will be Ono Judas. And I see like we're related. You are also Judas. Because especially I chose my version of Judas for the same reason like my demon poem and this one is everybody will see you as a Judas, especially those religious people. This is why, yes, we have a belief, but if you read every single thing that is written in any of the holy books, it is we have to learn how to treat each other. And your poem and my poem, I think that encapsulate that perfectly, and your own just made it even more special.
I agree big time. I think the poems really do work good together. And Judas is, in fact, my middle name. So, and that is why it is my middle name.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, I chose Judas because that was because I used to do some acting, and that was one of my favorite characters to be play while I was acting.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, you have one of the most interesting names that I've ever seen. I've met one person with a name that's as interesting as yours. I met him back in middle school. His name's Parish Dragon, which was so unique to me at the time. But your name, just like your whoever named you, your mom or your dad, or they had a part in it. Both had a part in it, like that. They're very creative people and put a lot of thought and meaning into it. It sounds like, and I think names have a lot of power, because I mean, like it's not just our name, but like how you say it, it kind of defines everything about us. And I think that like I like when I meet somebody with an interesting name. So I didn't that to you before.
In my opinion, I do think Parish Dragon is way cooler, but that might just be me.
I'll tell him you said that. I actually just reconnected with him after a long time, and he might watch the show. But yeah, that's cool. All right, so next up we got my brother coming back up for his second piece, and this piece I have heard, and it's dope as shit. And you want to tell us what it's called? It's that time already.
It's called The Path.
The Path, hell yeah, man. All right.
Find it.
All right, I'll get it up there for you.
This one was written pretty recently, I guess. Yeah. As I walk alone along this path I know I'm chosen for, it could be so beautiful if only I could close the door. I should just be grateful, but I always seem to want some more, especially as I lay face down upon that tile floor. I wish I was the one that you could say that you adore, but I lost myself the moment that you acted like a whore. You said you want to see my soul, there could have been a tour, but not to quote the raven, now I'm with you nevermore. Now I find my answers at the bottom of the bottle while I'm cruising down these roads sipping whiskey open throttle. You make me feel so hollow while you're acting like a model. Now my pride I need to swallow, cause I am no Aristotle. I wish I had the words to say to make you think I'd be okay, but now I'm laying in my grave, cause we both know I can't be saved. I wish my chosen path was paved, but with the ruts along the way, I've learned there's love and not just pain, but most comes from inside your brain. Although you make me feel insane, I would do all of this again if only I could just refrain from letting us slip down the drain. Now, how am I supposed to plan for this? You've been acting cancerous. Every time I ask you pitching, you won't even answer it. That's when I just crack a fifth and bandage up the wrist I split. My mind is in a labyrinth, it's still inside your house. I saw you as my ashtray, you dropped me like a mouse to hit. I thought your love was real, but I guess that shit was counterfeit. I am not the man for this. My soul I thought you steal, but you took my heart and trampled it. Now you make me feel like my option is to fail. I've raked myself with steel and still hide behind my veil. When the talking gets real, I know you'd rather see me fail, but when I'm walking this trail, I know this path, I will prevail.
Bro, first of all, let me just say, when I asked you to come on, I knew you had dope shit. I knew you had shit written that was awesome. But when you read that to me, I was like, oh shit. Like, he's going to come on my show and show me up with, your flow. You got, you have metaphors and similes and just flow and lyric pattern, and you're just all there. And all that wrapped up with emotion, which I always say it's hard to, and I said this last week on the show, it's hard to get all of that and then put emotion in it and actually make it sound good. Like, it's incredible. And like I said, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna come. My older brother, like always, gonna come on here and show me up as usual. But yo, that was dope, man. I'll get people up here and see what they say about it. So what you guys think? Who wants to talk?
Okay, well, I will say that to the Lola parents, you gave your sons some of the hottest shit they could speak. You give them the flow, and congratulations to the parents. Because that, Shadow, your flow is sick. I thought Dylan was sick, but Dylan, sorry to say on your birthday, your brother really show you up.
I appreciate that, man.
Take the hit.
It's not the intention, but I appreciate it.
I'll definitely take that hit for sure. August, you had something you wanted to say?
Same thing, just your flow is amazing and the words that you use. And I love the last part, that I will prevail. Like, I will get past this. And it hits home like really hard for me. And it was an amazing poem.
Thank you.
Beelzebub.
I also again, I love the emotions in this. It's a sensation. Like, I don't know what this poem is referring to. I don't know what situation in your life this comes from, but I can relate it to things in my life, and the emotions inside of it are just like sharp. They're so sharp, the way that you say them and the way that you explain them outwardly. It is so sharp and vivid, and I absolutely love it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say is like I was talking a little bit about your metaphors. Like, I love your references, in particular the Edgar Allan Poe references. I'm a huge Poe fan. He influences a lot of my work. There were a few other references in there. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that a couple times. The other day you just like spit it for me, like when we were standing there in the parking lot, but now I have it recorded so I can actually go back and listen to that shit and pick it apart and whatever. But yeah, dude, your references and just it was super dope. It was super dope. So anybody else have any more questions for Brendan or Shadow? Sorry. All right. Well, I am, I believe, last in the rotation, so I'm gonna spit something else for you, and I believe I have this one memorized, so there shouldn't be any problem with a note sheet or anything like that. We get in my zone. This one's called "Speaking with Demons." Listen up, Dylan. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's 3 a.m. and it's dark in our room. Go put on your coat and put on your shoes. Pull up your hood. Now let's walk in the moon. I don't know where we're going, but we'll get there real soon. You told me to sleep, but I'm just not in the mood. You're not in the mood? You got attitude? Well, I basically ruined my life because of you. Are we stuck in the dark with no light because of you? So I'm trapped in no sight and I can't ever move because it feels like you're holding me down while I'm bleeding so you can just feed from my wounds. Me feeding on you? Nah, it's the opposite, dude. Because you're constantly feeding on demons of darkness to bring out the artist in you. And you have the balls to blame all the trauma for bothering you? Be honest, you live for the drama. Why else would you let yourself argue with you? I live for the drama. That might be true, but you're keeping us spinning and stuck in this loop. You let the hate drive the things that we do, and that's why we're spinning. Fuck. And that's why the hate drives the thing. You let the hate drive the things that we do. And that's why we can't forget all the things we've been through. And while I have your attention and we're spitting the truth, let me just mention that you're who's to blame for the drugs and the booze. Tell me again, I don't follow. I made you pick up the bottle. I made you tip it back, sip it, and swallow. Don't give me that shit, bitch. We all know you're addicted to shit. And since you were a kid, you've been trying to fill it because your soul is so empty and hollow. It's empty of all the ones you pushed away because you keep us consumed by the anger and hate. And I'm so dazed and confused as of late because when we look at our girl, she just looks away. And our sister, she'll barely ever speak to our face. So look in the mirror and see what you made. You made up our bed and we can't go to sleep. See what I made? We did this together. I'm part of you, so you're not any better. Don't you dare try to blame me for the fact that your life has been splitting apart. I did what it took to get us this far. I fueled the passion in all of the bars and showed all of them who we really are. And you're trying to tell me I took it too far and the things that you think are just getting too dark? Well, answer me this. What are you going to do when the demons are gone? Because no one wants to see happy. They want all the scars. They want you to show them the cracks in your heart. You're not Eminem and you're not fucking Tom. Can you really handle this shit when the pressure is on? When the pressure is on, it's on all the time. That's how I know that I'm a diamond, that's how I know that I'm one of a kind, because it made me a diamond and I'm gonna shine. And I don't want to be Marshall McDonald. I know all their rhymes. I could spit you a cover of some bars that aren't mine, but I need to uncover the stuff that's behind the mental imbalance I feel in my mind. It's why I picked up a pen at just 9, channeled those feelings and started to write. It's why all of my dreams are now finally in sight. So I guess I did need the darkness to get to the light. There you go, Dylan. You finally admit it. You channel me every time that you're spitting. Even the parts of you spitting this song, you know it's my voice that's in there all along. So tell them your demons are the reason you're not sleeping at night. I can see that you blame me, so tell them I'm evil and ruined your life. You can look in the mirror and get sick at the sight, but you know that you need me to reach the new heights, and that's the reason your demons are winning the fight. So just deal with the fact that you're nothing without us, all right? And that's just a sneak peek of the things my demons all say when they're speaking to me. And as you can see, my demons and me, we don't always agree. They take all the credit for what I've achieved. They make me feel helpless and weak at the knees. So sometimes it's hard to just stay on my feet while I'm fighting this darkness like an evil disease. But it'd be a lie if I said it's not just what I need to master my craft and succeed at my dreams. So till the day I can't breathe, go blind and can't read, or the ink on my pen will no longer bleed, I guess I'll just keep on speaking to these. And that is Speaking with Demons. I'm sorry for the fuck-ups, but I was doing it off memory, so I will bring everybody up here to ask their questions. Who wants to go first? Beelzebub.
I've heard this one before, and every time I hear it, I love it. I relate to it. The idea of, if you're able to have a conversation with the things that haunt you, you would really just start to realize that it's kind of like a circle. There is no real separation between you and them. They help you, they motivate you, they keep you going. Was there any specific moment in your life that kind of inspired you to write this? Like any time where you
Well, I mean, it's inspired by a lot of things. When I was 10 years old, I kind of like had this like, I mean, I guess since I was 10 years old, and I started developing like anger issues and depression and anxiety and whatnot, was around like, 9 or 10. And I just always thought of like I know it's part of me, but I always thought of like my anger and my dark side as like as another half. And I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of Eminem, and he has that whole Eminem Slim Shady duality side. So that, I mean, that inspired a lot of it. There's a few other artists that make similar songs that I was inspired by, where they're sort of having a conversation with themselves. And I've listened to a lot of those over the years, and I've always thought, I was like, oh man, someday I'm gonna make that song like for me, and maybe it'll be like, maybe I'll make more. I'm actually might make a 2-part or a 3-part to that, but like I was like, someday I'm gonna make that. And actually, the beginning of that song, the first verse that the demon talks, that was written like 2 or 3 years ago, and then I just finished it recently, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, just dealing with my own demons and just being influenced by the music and the art around me, basically.
Oh yeah, I really liked it.
Thank you, August.
It kind of reminded me. I don't know if this is one of the songs that you listen to, but "The Search" by NF. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that is one of the artists.
My like favorite songs because I relate to it, and like the poem, I relate to it.
It's actually more closely one of the songs. I have a list of about 5 songs that are kind of inspired it. And NF intro number 3, where he's talking to his inner fear, and he buries it in the backyard. And the house represents his brain, and he's kind of kicking it out of the house or whatnot. Another one is more recent. It's Alone With Me by Hobson. And one of my favorites of all time that I've been listening to for years is My Darling by Eminem. And in that song, when the demon part is talking, he has like this deep voice effect that sounds like the devil talking, and it sounds awesome. But like I said, I've always been inspired by that kind of thing.
Yes. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. It actually reminded me. I can't remember where I saw it first. I actually did something like that for one of my classes where I was playing the 2 parts. So I was the bad guy and the good guy, just switching places. And that reminded me so much of that. And I just loved it because it spoke to all of us, because we all have that demon within us, pulling us both ways. We trying to do one thing, and that the demon is the one who speaks to us, and we lose ourselves. This because, and it fits well with, when you hear it, my next poem.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Like, honestly, they're all about different things, but a lot of our poems have common themes, and they fit very well together. And it's like, I mean, this show could be a book. If you opened up the show and read all these poems as a book, it would read cohesively. So I love that we're all like, we have all our own styles, but we're all similar artists at heart, and we all kind of write from the same place and want the same thing. So that's awesome. I can't wait to hear your Demon's poem. Does anybody else have any questions they want to ask me? All right. Well, that being said, I have a surprise for you guys tonight. And you got me on here performing. You got me on here answering questions. I got my big bro, the oldest Lawler, up here. So we might as well finish out the trio and bring my little sis up here She's gonna perform something for us, and two. All right, she's gonna do two things for us, and get some feedback if she's comfortable with that. So you can take the captain's chair, my lady, and here you go.
All right, they're both unnamed, so yeah, there's no names to them, but that's all right. Sometimes I lay awake at night, wondering why I'm awake, why I'm here. Is there a reason I lie awake? Is something gonna happen when I go to sleep? Maybe it's because I'm scared, or it's the simple fact I'm an insomniac. But humans aren't simple beings. Humans are complex things that cannot be explained no matter how hard we try. One thing can hurt one person's feelings, but not the others. Why? We don't know. We say we do, but we don't. Don't we all have different talents? Yes, but all minds work different. That's why when you find that special someone, don't let them go. Love them before it's too late, or before they find someone else to love. Then we have.
That was awesome. Do you want to answer questions
Sure.
about that before
Sure.
you go on to
Before
your
we-
next piece?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me get everybody up here real quick. Tessa, that was super deep. I'm still processing. I'm still processing that.
Hold on. That one was written when I was 12 and rewritten when I was 14.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, who would like to go first? August, I saw your hand go up first.
I really love the flow, especially like you just said that you wrote it whenever you were 12 and then rewrote it whenever you were 14. Like that's a really deep and like advanced kind of flow for somebody that was that age whenever you wrote it. May I ask what inspired you to write it?
Well, I was up one night and I was having just wasn't really in the clearest headspace, and I was dealing with a lot of things. I was also dealing with my mom's death at the time, and I was dealing with a breakup a forced breakup and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot in there, like to unpack. You mentioned a lot of different things. Like I said, like it was deep, and I'm sitting here trying to run my show while I'm processing. And that's the hardest part of like all this poetry thing for me. It's just like I hear you guys' stuff, and then I'm trying to like process it and like figure out how I feel about it and give you my honest feedback, and then still keep the show running. But like, yeah, I mean, that was deep. I mean, like she said, especially for that age, that is amazing. All right, so is there anybody else?
Well, I must say the ending tore me apart because it is true. We have to know how to love the person. It could be a friend, it could be a family, because you never know when you will lose them. Because today this one is a sort of personal experience of one of my coworkers. She died literally last week, Saturday. And one of the things she has so much of dreams. Now because one of the things she said, she wanted me and her to work together on a book, which could never happen because we never even sat down one day to even start to discuss what she wants in the book and anything in her life story that she wanted. So we always have to appreciate who we have. And although we will be arguing with people, we have to always remember it's okay. That was yesterday. Today's today. What is that bridge we could build to that person? And that line, ooh, you're trying to take me out. Dylan, your family are murderers. You're trying to take us out with so much of deepness.
Oh man, I love my family, man. They got a lot to say, and they're very deep. Brendan, you had something you wanted to Shadow? You had something you wanted to say?
Beelzebub actually, or this way.
Beelzebub,
Actually had something to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of the same thing that Ona was talking about was that that line about like loving someone while you can because they could either find someone else or you don't know what could happen. That is honestly it's something really deep for somebody who was either 12 or 14 at the time. That is a really deep thing to kind of realize and think about, especially after going through such a hard moment. It's really inspirational how you put those things together during a time of like such struggling.
She's definitely got it in her blood, for sure, for sure. Oh man, Brendan, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, no, it definitely kind of blows my mind. You're growing up, both of you are growing up mad quick.
I'm 22 today.
Leave me hanging.
All right, Tessa, you had another piece you wanted to share with us? All right, let's do that.
If they thought that one hit hard, this one's gonna hit a little harder. All right. So, another unnamed one. Love it. Sometimes I think that I love you, but most of the time I don't. I need to do something before the feelings get out of control. I feel like I have to tell you that I love you, but I can't get myself to do it. I love you, but you don't seem to have interest. But when I talk to you, I feel a spark and I see the way you look at me. After we hang up, the next day I'm ready to tell you, but then I get choked up and I never do it. So I act like I hate you, but inside I'm deeply in love with her.
Wow, a love poem. All right. You want to talk about that a little bit? All right. Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it from your words first. What inspired that, Tessa?
So like the other one, I was still going through a forced breakup between me and my partner at the time, and it was really hard. And I was also dealing with the fact that I was also in another relationship, and that wasn't really there wasn't really anything there. So that was like the buffer between the two relationships at the time. And just like having to deal with that, I just needed like something. I didn't know what to do. I usually draw instead of writing, but
Yeah,
sometimes
she's got a lot of great artwork too. I'm definitely gonna get her on here with some of her drawings.
if I can find them.
And some of her drawings. She's a little more shy about her drawings, but that's because they're awesome and she's super fucking talented. And but as you guys just saw, she's super talented. And thank you for coming on.
Okay, I have a challenge. And my challenge is because Dylan said we could put together a book. Maybe we do it. And your sister will be the one who does all the artwork for that book.
I helped him with this. I did help him with
that. She helps me with most of my when I make like a artwork for YouTube, when I put up my cover art, she helps me with most of that.
His idea, I just tweak it.
Yeah, she's super artistic and super awesome. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask her about that piece, or just in general?
I think you need to stick with it, and you need to keep writing whenever you do.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Listen to these people. They are super talented artists. They know what they're talking about.
They really are.
They know what they're talking about. Listen to these people.
I'm listening to
They do. I kind of don't really.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about myself, writing love poems is one of the hardest things. I would like to do a book of love poetry. So far, I only have one piece.
That's all right.
I think I've written maybe two in my whole life, and they weren't very good. But maybe I'll share them with you someday. Tessa, I appreciate you so much for coming on. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday,
Love you, Tess.
Thank you.
Mwah. I'm gonna dip out. Bye.
All right. Bye.
See you, kid.
All right. That was awesome. That was a surprise to me. She came to me like during the intermission and she was like, "Hey, can I just pop in and it's a surprise?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." That was awesome. That was awesome. All right. So who wants now we are kind of at the point where we're getting to like third poems or whatnot. Who would like to do a third one?
Okay, well, I have my own set.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes, you're frozen, but we can hear you. So
All right,
maybe-
because my phone is a completely black screen right now.
Oh, well, maybe you can click out of the thing and come back in. Maybe that'll work. But you can try that, and we'll have Uno perform his poem while you're getting that figured out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's this one called? It's the Demons one, right?
Okay. No, this one is Demons was before. This one is one I said I wrote for the mental health thing, but this is a more extended version because it was too long, so I had to rework it for them. So this is the uncut version of Life for Rent.
All right.
Life for Rent. In a place where my dreams and realities become a tale of anguish, I hear whispered laments, a symphony of woes, a saga of a life put on hold. Life for rent. That's how it has to be. A soul trapped within the walls, so thin inside this mind. My perilous emotions collide, fighting battles unseen where scars reside. This world full of masks, fake happiness in a social media madhouse of fashion. I'm lost in the labyrinth of disconnection where I see others progress, moving forward with ease. While I am stuck, stifled by unease, right where you left me, I see myself an empty vessel, a so bare, used by others as they please, without care. My word seems to serve their needs, while my own desires drown, lost amongst weeds, pains and disconnect, and a heavy chain wrapped around my heart that never wanes. Oh, stranded by reality that I cannot grasp. I wander alone wearing this mask. Everyone around me, they sought, they thrive. A cruel reminder that I failed to survive. Their lives paint the town red with purpose, vibrant and bright, while mine lingers in an overwhelming midnight. My progress feels meaningless, devoid of worth. This sympathy of despair, pain, takes birth. It consumes my days. It clings to my soul. This constant companion, a bitter, supermassive black hole. Yet through the darkness, a glimmer remains, a flicker of strength that defies these chains of pain. This has carved me to my core. I hold it dear as I've learned to endure in this life for rent where sorrows abide. I find solace in knowing I am not alone on this ride. Others too bear burdens unseen. Within this shared pain, a connection with glean. As the world progresses and leaves me behind, my journey is unique, a tale undefined. In pain, I find purpose. In darkness, I grow. This life may be for rent. My spirit shall never be sold. And that's life for rent.
I like that, dude. I like that. That's gonna be. I always say this, and I keep like kicking myself in the ass because I say, "Oh, this is gonna be my favorite one that you've ever done," and then you do another one. I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna be on the favorite list too." Yeah, no, I definitely like that one.
Well, wait. If once midnight hits before, doesn't hit before, I have the fourth one ready, and that one is a second one just for the birthday.
All right. Well, I have two more poems that I want to do, and you sound like you got one more that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So if everyone else is too tired, it'll at least be you and me here, going at it for the last couple rounds. But yeah, let's get everybody up here and see what they thought of that. Does anybody which one of you wants to go first? Oh, I forgot August. Jesus. My bad. I'm so sorry. My computer it moves things around.
It's all right.
Beelzebub.
I really like that. I like the several metaphors and references like supermassive black hole and math. Again, it's a really good metaphor. I like to see that you keep revisiting it. It's really good, and I love the title of the poem itself. I mean, it's really good. I think that one's my favorite that you've done tonight.
Yeah, he has such a way with words.
Yeah.
The metaphors are always like your metaphors and the way like she was saying like like I was saying before, the way you put words together and just you make me think about things in a way that like I haven't like didn't in a before or just like from a new perspective or whatever. Like you definitely have a way with that. Anybody else? August.
I agree with the statement about like the metaphors and how you put things together because there were a few things in there that it's like I've never thought about this like in this way before, and then you kind of like influenced me to think of it in a different way reading that, and it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I remember one of my this was when I was in college doing my bachelor's of education. So one of the questions one of the professors asked was, "Who is your favorite philosopher?" I literally say, "I am my own favorite philosopher. I make up my own quotes."
Hell yeah, hell yeah! I used to make up my own quote. Actually, I wrote so many good quotes at one point. In the school I was in, they started putting them on the walls. Or at least one teacher, she had a couple of my quotes outside on the walls, and she put them on like a Word document, and she put like a fancy picture behind it, so it looked like a quote that she got off Google. But yeah, and it would say Dylan Lawler. But yeah, I like that. You're your own favorite philosopher. You live by your own rules, make up your own philosophies and theories on life. Hell yeah, man.
That's cool. And definitely powerful message every time you come on.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Who would like to go next?
I have another poem I could do.
All right. Let's hear it. What is this one called?
Who I Am.
Who I Am. All right.
Ooh, all right. I never met a stranger quite like me. Never once have my lips passed such judgment or my mind sunk so deep in sin at a stranger. Whether the stranger moves past me with all the features I cut at the painting of myself with a blade for or not, I never once felt so darkly for a stranger as this. Never knowing if the mirror speaks of who I am, of where I could be, and of what I am, or if it lies for the sake of belittling me into nothing like all the rest of me does. I get used to it. This stranger and how disgusted I am with them, how inadequate they are to standards I never should have made for myself and maybe never did. How fake and untrustworthy my own eyes are, yet how desperate and red-rimmed they are. I never met a stranger like me, nor my reflection. Never felt the urge to know someone less, never felt the urge to cleanse myself after just a simple touch. Never felt this dark and disgusted like for a person who maybe never existed the way I see they do. I never met a stranger so built on assumptions and miscalculations and cruelty as I am. I never hated a stranger quite like me. I don't know who I am, and that changes nothing.
Wow. Again, giving me chills down my spine. And also, that one was sort of like I was just saying, kind of the Uno is like you sometimes have a way of making me think of things from a different perspective, and like I like the last line in particular. I don't know who I am, and it doesn't make a difference, is what or
Yeah, and it changes nothing.
it changes nothing. My bad. Yeah, and it changes nothing. I like that. I like that. That's. Would you like to talk about it a little bit in your own words?
Yeah, as I came forward about on this show before, I struggle with something called body dysmorphic disorder, which basically means I don't recognize myself. I recognize myself, or I don't, but most people with BDD usually do, but they just don't like themselves. They find a feature that is wrong or is flawed. But for me, my case is severe enough to the point where I don't recognize myself, period. I feel like a stranger. And yet this stranger is someone I am disgusted with, like, throughout all of me. And I've been trying to dig deeper into that, try to discover the ways I can finally, like myself or get to know this stranger.
At least accept yourself as you know. These are parts of me. These are, like we were talking about earlier. Like we all have sort of different parts, and I struggle with not feeling adequate, self-confident. Pick a adjective, pick a word. It I definitely feel what you're saying with just feeling kind of disgusted with yourself, and sort of not wanting to look in the mirror sometimes, not wanting to even show your face to yourself. And your mask is amazing, but I'm sure the face behind it is just as amazing. And I hope that you learn to come to terms with that, and accept both parts as part of you.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I'll bring everybody up here and see what they think. Who wants to speak?
Well, I must say, I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but the way you said it, because I have a piece called My Mind and Me Darker, and it so much as another reflection. I'm finding a lot of my poetry and your poetry reflected a lot, and it's like I don't know who I am, but I just go with emotions. I find all the flaws, although people, as I said when in the beginning, I don't think I perform all that well, but getting the love from you all, I am now seeing myself okay, but still do not believe it that I am that good. Uh, because, as you say, you see flaws in yourself, I also see flaws in myself.
Well said. Well said. I like I said, I definitely understand that. Just the we're all flawed, and we all think the worst of ourselves in our own ways. And anybody else have anything to add to that? August.
It's always one of those things listening to you and talk about your poems and the things that inspired them. It's always like one of those things that it runs chills down your spine, and you just, even if you don't have experience with it, you get it. Like you can feel it, and like your metaphors and how you word things, it all comes together into one beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for sharing your feedback again. I don't even know how many times I've said it, but you guys have amazing feedback for each other, and I think that I think that it's going to help build all of our self-confidence. Like we were just talking about, we're all have problems with self-confidence, and I think that getting this feedback is really going to help with that. So I appreciate you guys for sharing your honest feedback and whatnot with each other. That's awesome. All right, Brendan or August, is there a third piece either of you would like to do?
I have one.
Okay, all right. We can get August up here real quick. And what is it called?
It's called Labels.
Labels. All right. Let's hear it.
I hate them. These names and labels being added to the diagnostic list. My diagnostic list. Names such as schizoaffective disorder, OSDD type 1A, autism spectrum disorder, and others that follow the list below it. Labels that list a heavier burden than names and terms listed on the sheet and the medications prescribed to treat them. The society that turns these terms and labels them psychopath, monster, and retard. The list keeps growing longer. The labels become the heavy burden that I struggle to travel along with. Labels that feel like my feet and wrists are shackled and leaving me no room to just be free to be me without the tormenting labels that people like to use to consider themselves funny and leave me on the outskirts of normalcy. It leaves my heart cold and bitter. It makes me wanting. My iPad just turned off. It makes me wanting to put on the mask I work so desperately to tear off and burn the list of names and terms that haunt me. And will haunt me until I drag myself to death's doorstep and beg him, plead with him to just take me. That's it.
Sorry, my bad. That was deep and intense, and I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of what you write is deep, but that just to me anyway had a little bit of like I don't know, it just hit me deeper for some reason. Do you want to talk a little bit, when did you write that?
I wrote it fairly recently. One of the diagnoses on there, OSDD type 1A, is a fairly new diagnosis, and it's one that I'm still struggling to accept as being something like, hey, having a proper diagnosis could help me in the future. Because there's just so many added labels that society has made and built that kind of comes with it. You kind of get labeled or mislabeled with other things, along with things having schizoaffective disorder and then autism. Like, it all comes with labels from society that have a heavier burden than the actual diagnosis.
I mean, sometimes, and the interview during halftime was a little choppy, so I don't know if people heard it, but something I was saying, I believe the other day in the interview was, I don't, back when our parents were kids, they didn't even have labels for these things, you know, they were just, you're screwed up kid, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
And they just lock you away somewhere or whatever. And I think that we've come a long way from that, and that's great. But now I think we're moving in like the opposite direction, or like too far, you know, because one thing that these labels do is they scare the fuck out of kids. They're like, I have what? I'm 14, I'm 13 years old or whatever. I have what? You know what I mean? And the other thing it does is it makes you feel like not you have this condition, you are this condition, and it puts this stigma in your brain, like and you start attributing all the things you do in your life to this. Oh, I have, I do this because I have this or whatever, and it's like, and it defines you. It becomes your whole identity, and I like that science has moved on from just sticking kids in the loony bin or in a placement or whatever. But, I think we need to hit somewhere in the middle. Like, we have labels for all these things, but I mean, they're coming up with labels for it was just, it used to be just anxiety, and now it's like anxiety type A, type B, like all these different, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's great that we have the science to study it and that we're actually putting the effort into studying it, but I don't think labels are always the best thing, especially for kids with getting new diagnoses, or anybody getting a new diagnosis. It's scary.
It is.
Like I have what my mom, she passed away, and I usually just tell people she had lung cancer because the name of her disease is so long, it's hard to pronounce it. But the short version is pulmonary Langerhans. And it's a disease called Langerhans that attacks your muscle tissue and whatnot. And this happens to be pulmonary, which is in your lungs, which means parts of her lungs became solid, like the tissue became solid as rocks, until she had and other medical things that were caused by that. But when I did a lot of research on her disease, and just like, but whenever I would tell somebody, it has like, that's a short name. It has like a long, like 10-word name. And, whenever I would like tell somebody that, they just like stare at me like, what? That's why I just say lung cancer, because people understand cancer. They can, because that's a label that we're familiar with, because, everything is cancer this and cancer that, yet, however many decades later, we still haven't found a cure. But that's another topic for another time. But I mean, I definitely agree with you. I've been too busy talking. Let's get other people up here and see what they think. Who wants to go first? Comments, questions, concerns? I saw Brendan raise his hand first. Shadow?
Yeah, kind of going on what you guys were saying. I just kind of wanted to put my sense in as far as, especially as kids growing up, they're more so, I feel, as an opinion. You're a kid, you're growing up, you're going through a lot of things hormonally, environmentally, mentally. I don't think it's necessarily right to be labeling kids.
Right.
Yeah. But something me and him have both gone through.
Yes.
Kids and teenagers is a lot of labels, a lot of therapists, a lot of just bullshit, and it's I mean,
I've seen a lot of it in like going to school and stuff like that, like where kids like who maybe had issues but were like had this label placed on them whenever they were young, and they were like placed in special education classes when they really didn't need to be in special education classes.
Oftentimes the disabilities or the labels, or whatever you want to call them, kind of tend to conform you as you grow up to the image of what someone would expect.
Beelzebub, she has something she wants to say.
Yeah, sorry for the sun lighting change. But I did want to say I really relate to that feeling of like the diagnostic list just keeps getting longer and longer, and you just feel so much smaller in comparison. Some days it kind of feels like you're a dictionary of everything everybody doesn't like, including yourself. It is just I relate to the feeling, and I'm like, I love to see that it's being written about.
Yeah. What I have to say with this labeling, as a teacher of students who have special needs, I find it places everybody in a box that is even worse because you might have your own opinion or something or behave a different way. Why do you need to be labeled? Why can't you just say that you're young, you're learning something different? Because now uh, it is becoming too politically correct. It's so more politically incorrect because you make everybody feel something is wrong with them because people will stop saying because the mantra of special education is person first. So it will be like a boy with autism, it used to be. Now I hear they changing it again. Then you will say like ADHD. In some circuits now, it is wrong to even say ADHD. They want to put a new label on it, and why? Because everybody knows what is going on. Okay, like I said, because you keep the person who they are do anything wrong.
It definitely like I see it a lot either in schools or even like in homes. I've seen like parents of my friends like who also have like a special need or a mental disability or anything in between where like their parents are like, oh, they have this, and then they treat them as if they are just that disability. And it's insane to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need to stop putting anybody in boxes. We need to make them who they are, see them for as a human, humanity first, not disability. Because yes, look, well, like the boomer memes, they'll say, "Oh, that," as Dylan said, "Oh, you just messed up, blah blah blah." But yes, it's good to know what causes it to correct it, not to put it as a label on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love that. I invited so many like-minded people on here. Like this is what I wanted, just like a discussion, man. Like this is great. Best birthday present ever. Thank you guys so much. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to that conversation or ask August? Before I do my number 3. All right, I'm gonna do my number 3, and this is another response to write something happier, write something more upbeat, write something. All right. This one is called Manifest Destiny. And it is as close as you're gonna get to me being upbeat. So here we go. Since a preteen, I knew that I wanted it. I've been causing this scene, yeah, I've been what the problem is. Because I knew that one day I'd be fulfilling the promises I made to myself when the pit I was in just seemed bottomless. And I think that this shit right here is how mama wanted it. I'm impressing the people who know what an artist is and rejecting the evil because I don't want a part of it. I'm climbing this mountain to get to the top of it, manifesting my dreams while I'm building my confidence and investing in me because ain't no one stopping it. Yeah, I'm turning back into someone that I want to be. I'm going to pick up my pen and I'm going to live up my dreams. I'm going to handle my business and not worry about things that are out of my reach and that I cannot fix. But I'm fixing the rails, getting back on the track. I'm going to channel my feelings and master my craft and then train all the skills that I currently lack so I can carry the world without breaking my back. And I'm not the best, but I'm getting better, bleeding onto the page because my heart's on the sleeve of my sweater, the sweater that covered me through rainy weather, but the wetter the better, I thrive with no shelter. So bring on the rain and the thunder and lightning. There's pain hidden under, but that's what's exciting. It's keeping me sane, it's keeping me fighting, and the strength that I gain when I put it in writing. But I don't do it for me. I'm here for the people. I'm giving them weapons to fight off the evil. I'm hanging our banner from streetlights and steeples, take the ghettos and churches and show them we're equals. Because I could sit here all day and watch the views and subscribers go up, but analytical data, that for me just isn't enough. I needed to know that there's souls that I've touched. I need to know that there's something I touch when I'm talking to you. I need to know that something inside of me lights lights up the darkness in you. I need to know that there's something you feel when I'm spitting the truth that helps you get through and gives you the power to move when you're dazed and confused and it feels like the world has been weighing on you. So to all the Lost Boys across the land, y'all are my family, I'll never have fans. This is me reaching out to give you my hand. This is us banding together and taking a stand. 1 in a million, that is our chance, but that one is enough because I got a plan. Just don't ever listen when they tell you you can't.
Damn, bro.
What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Okay,
I love that.
Yeah, just playing the Lost White Crown, okay?
Hell yeah, man.
Questions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Yeah.
I absolutely. I mean, I love that is. Okay. I love that is your response to write something happier. I'm sorry, you guys, if you guys can hear my dog.
No.
I love that is your response to write something happier. That's just that's an incredible way to approach it, because that is a positive thing. That is a positive, poem. Like, that is positive, even if it doesn't seem like it. It's really good. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going for. I was really trying to write something that was less NF, more like, Eminem when he's hyping himself up and telling himself he's the best and whatnot. Because I feel like every rapper and every artist has those two, even if they don't release one or the other to the public, they have those two kind of things where they're like, there's sometimes, especially when you write rap and stuff like that, where you kind of just gotta you gotta own it, and you gotta realize I wouldn't be here if I wasn't talented. If I didn't have something, I wouldn't be able to write this. And going back to what we said before, I have self-confidence issues. It's hard for me to get on camera. It's hard for me to do a lot of stuff. It was very, very, very fucking hard to write that, because I had to write something. I have to feel like it's real and feel like I'm actually I have to feel it. I can't put anything on paper or spit anything that's not real. And so I had to get into this headspace where I felt like I am the fucking king of my castle. I am master of my dreams. I can fucking handle this shit. Shit's hard, but I'm seeing shit, how shit's panning out. I'm looking at the show. I'm looking at my poetry and how everything's panning out, and I'm like, first of all, this shit is how Mama would have wanted it, and second of all, this is how I want it, and I'm doing it. So, yeah. Anybody else help me? Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry for disappearing. I just started having a nosebleed underneath my.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
mask.
Yeah, if you need to go take care of that, that's no problem.
Yeah.
It's okay. It stopped now. My mask is covered in blood, but that's all right. I can handle that.
Oh no! Do you want to? Can you switch masks to the other one?
The other one isn't a speaking mask. As much as I wish I could, it's okay though. It's all right. That's all right.
All right. Well, I appreciate you powering through it. I apologize for your nosebleed if it was stress related at all. I was gonna ask, does anybody else have any questions for me?
More of a comment, but I love the part that was about Lost Boys, and that's genuinely what this show is. It's you reaching out to people, bringing them together, and creating a kind of community and family. And I love that you put that in there.
That's absolutely that's what the end of that piece was. It was to all the Lost Boys across the land, you know what I mean? And I put in there, and something I will always say, no matter how famous I get, y'all are my family. I'll never have fans. I stressed that a million times. And for real, it wouldn't be, dude. Nobody would be able to get. Yeah, nobody would ever.
How long ago did you write that piece?
Or speak anything without their fans, and that really makes you guys family, and that's awesome. Thank you guys for the support.
How long ago did you write that piece?
How long ago did I write that piece? That was, I believe, right after the. I actually started. Okay, I started writing. So what I do is a lot of my stuff is I'll come up with a line or two, and then I'll write that down. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. And then later I'll come up with another, and then I'll look through my, Word docs, and I'll be like, these have similar themes. Maybe I can rhyme something in between them and fit them together into one song to make it work. And because, you know what I mean, you're not always feeling like in the mindset to sit there and write the entire thing. But I think I started it like, I would say about 3 months ago, and I finished it about a month and a half ago, shortly after the first or second show that we did. I believe it was the show. Yeah, I believe it was the second show that we did. I finished it completely. So, I'm a perfectionist. I go in a million times and go back on things that I thought that I had finished and rework it. But yeah, it's recent for me at least. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' comments and questions, and thank you guys for coming on. We got one more from you and one more from me, correct, Uno?
Yes.
Unless anybody else has a fourth piece.
I can do one more. I can do one more.
I'll do one more.
Okay.
All right. So
Shadows.
One more from
said
you.
he do one. Yeah. So
I can do a little one, I guess.
Oh yeah. All right, August, you want to hop in on this?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. We're all doing one more. We're gonna start with Uno. All right, man. What's this one called?
Well, this is the one that I told you is your birthday treat. September.
September. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
So let me give you your life story, my version. Okay?
All right. This should be interesting. All right.
Okay. Beyond the sky, beyond the stars, on a September eve, a gentle soul was born, destined to believe. Every trial, every tribulation faced, he stood strong, persevered, and never disgraced. A beacon of resilience, he overcame every hurdle that life cast in his name. A heart so vast, blessing in disguise. He extended a lifeline, wiping tears from weary eyes. A spoken word maestro, an artist supreme. His words, like paintbrushes, created a dream. His voice brushed the canvas of the endless sky, marooned the hues of his compassion where hope does not die. Turning 22 in 420 life, living above and beyond. Decades more, he strives his spirit ever fond. Once a lost boy, now a Peter Pan he has grown, setting souls free, guiding them to their own. He revels in the magic, living to be, unfolding life's wonders for all to truly see. In his gentle hands, he soothes troubles with ease, whispering solace into heart, a gentle breeze. In him, the world discovers serenity, a guiding light, a haven, and a sanctuary. Within the depths of his soul, love's river does flow, nurturing countless spirits, helping them grow. Let us celebrate this soul, so rare, who touches with his tender love and care. His wondrous journey, may he always find peace, as his words paint the sky and his blessings increase. And as my picture says, happy birthday, Dylan Lawler, and happy 22.
Thank you. That was sick, dude. I'm fucking Peter Pan, motherfuckers. What's up? That was awesome, dude. That was awesome. Oh, thank you. Oh,
You are most welcome.
dude,
What's the
said,
best way to end your birthday?
I can
Not
count.
with a fitting tribute.
I mean, I can count on probably one hand the number of times someone's done something like made something artistic for me. One of them was this. My girlfriend just made this poster for us. This is our
And your sister. Don't forget your
new
sister.
banner. Our official new banner. Oh, yep. She helped. She helped out. Yep. You know, but like, it's just such a wonderful feeling to have somebody like make something and be artistic for you, and just that was a wonderful tribute. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Most welcome. As I say, that is my version of a lighter note.
Does anybody else have anything they want to say about that piece that he did?
I think it was a really good tribute. I think it got you well.
Yes.
That was great.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, who wants to go next?
I can.
All right. That was sorry, I wasn't looking at that was Beelzebub, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sorry. All right. What is this one called?
Icarus.
Icarus. Like the Greek myth. Okay.
Yep.
Flew too close to the sun. All right.
Okay. I kind of grabbed my book for this, so check it out on his Amazon, Hive Mind and Maggots. I am Icarus. My father gave me wings. Built into the wax he had melted with a lighter, my father's wings smelled of whiskey and diesel. When I raised them to fly, the whiskey dripped off them and into my open, hopeful mouth. The taste was unlike what I knew, and soon I found myself cradling the harness in my lap and sucking the feathers dry. I was soon too drunk to fly. I will stay as I sober, as he has done. One day I will give the wings to my son.
That was shorter than I expected, but that had I assume that had a very like personal, and I like the metaphor. First of all, let me just get that out of the way. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Greek myths, so I love the reference and the metaphor and how that relates to sort of your feelings in your own life. Do you want to talk about how that metaphor relates to you in your own life?
Yeah. So basically, my father has a history of alcoholism. He's sober now, but growing up, it affected me. And I'm someone who is just now starting to get sober myself. And the whole idea of it is that, like, you know, Icarus and his father were the ones who went on that journey together to escape. And Icarus flew too close to the sun. And it's around the same kind of metaphor of, you know, I'm trying to do what my father couldn't. And I'm trying to fly, but we both flew a little too close to something that was too powerful for us.
I like that metaphor. That is a very, very apt metaphor for drugs. It's something that's like the sun. It's something that it makes us feel good. It gives us life and whatnot, but it can be dangerous. It has that. It's a double-sided blade, as they say. Yeah, and you get too close to it, and sometimes you can't pull away, and you get burnt. Yeah.
Yep.
I definitely understand that. I've struggled with addiction myself, and I have most of my friends have struggled with addiction at one point or another. I mean, yeah, thank you for coming on and talking about that, first of all, because it's a hard thing to talk about, but especially not only drug abuse, but and recovering, but also anything to do with family is so hard to talk about. So I appreciate you coming on and talking about that. Let's see what everybody else has to say about it. Who would like to? Uno?
Yeah. So I just loved it and how it spoke to addiction. But I'm going to say it in a different way because I don't drink or smoke or anything. But I will say addiction comes in many forms. And like my addiction, a lot of people will laugh and but it's like even things we eat. Say I love oily foods and I love all these unhealthy things. So I literally will feel like it's an addiction to me because I cannot do without having all the junk. And like today, I had a medical and found out a few things that I need to work on and try to raise myself from the addiction of wanting all the things that is killing me slowly.
There was I don't know if anybody's seen it. There was a documentary called Supersize Me where this guy ate nothing but McDonald's for months. And then when he came off of it, he actually DT'd and had withdrawals from all the sugar and the fat and the sodium and the caffeine and the shit that our government is pumping into our body by the truckload. It is an addiction, man. You're right. It is. It is. It's just disguised with literally a smiley face on it. Why do you think? Why do you think McDonald's is literally a smiley face? Because it's like, oh, that creepy little clown. Trust me with your children. I'm a creepy clown. Give them a happy meal full of fucking poison.
So was it.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add or say? August.
Another poem that I really relate to, struggling myself with some alcoholism and then growing up around alcoholism. It's another, like, you describe it very well, and the metaphor that you use is perfect. And as far as, like, it feels good, I'm going to have more of it. And just, it's detrimental, really. And like Dylan said, I appreciate you writing about it.
I'm glad.
Brendan, you have something to add?
Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you for coming out and sharing and touching on a topic like that. Coming from somebody who has struggled a lot, and I guess you could say is still struggling in a lot of ways. I appreciate you touching on those topics.
Of course.
And again, your metaphors are incredible, and I appreciate every time you come on.
It's my pleasure.
Hell yeah. All right, thank you guys so much for giving each other feedback. All right, let's see. You've gone. It's me and Brendan for our last me and Brendan for our last pieces, correct? Everyone else is done for? Okay, all right. Brendan, you're up, bro.
Yeah, I was like, let me go, so all right.
Oh,
all right, this is it's pretty short, I guess. It's just kind of one of those things that was just kind of jotted down, I guess.
Just a stream of consciousness type thing.
I don't really have a name for it, but I guess it would be Time to Fly, I guess, if I had to pick one.
All right, let's hear it.
So, yeah. Where do I begin? Well, I'm full of sin, so come right in and I'll show you that. I like my grin, so if you think you can come take it, then this is the end. I don't know what's been happening inside my brain. I feel insane upon this train. There is no joy, there's only pain. Inside my mind, I can't unwind. I don't know why I even try. Don't tell me lies, I cannot cry. But it's time to fly and maybe touch the sky. And that's that.
Short. You said it earlier. Short but sweet, man.
Short and kind of just.
It gets to the point, but I mean, like I said to August earlier, it doesn't have to be long to convey emotion and and be deep and meaningful. When did you jot that down?
I can't hear you.
Oh, am I muted? Can you hear me now?
I don't know if that's me or.
I think it might be you.
That was me. That was me. I muted.
Okay.
My car, I bumped into money.
When did you jot that down?
I don't know. That's kind of been sitting in a notebook for some time, I guess.
Damn. Well, I appreciate you pulling one out of the vault for us. I've been saying all night, like we all got shit like tucked away in the vault, you know, a pad or whatever somewhere that, you know. But thanks for sharing that and digging it out of the vault for us.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's really this show is kind of the only. This is the first time I've like shared anything really. I mean, you've kind of heard some things, obviously.
A few things, yeah.
But
dude, I'm telling you, you're killing it, man. I'm telling you, like, you didn't believe me, but you've heard it from what, 6 other people tonight at least. I mean, we had a few drop out of here, along the way, but you know, you like everybody in here,
appreciate everybody
talented, and like I told you when I brought you on the show, man, like everyone here, in my opinion, is a top tier artist, like top shelf. Like I go to a bar, like they're all on the top shelf. You know, you're definitely the whiskey.
I was gonna say, grab the whiskey.
But yeah, no, you guys are all top shelf artists, man. Like I don't put any of you above anybody, and I wouldn't have invited anybody on here if I didn't think they were up to par with just the level of talent going on here. I mean, not to say that everybody I've had on my show isn't talented, but you know, I definitely I picked some great ones tonight. I could only fit so many, but I definitely picked some great ones, and I'm glad you were one of them.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm glad I came out, man. It's definitely been a good night.
Hell yeah. Does anybody else want to ask Brandon any questions?
That one was
not Brendan, sorry.
Seems. That was, I mean, it was short, but it was insanely like it was really emotional and deep, and I really like it. I love the ending line. My memory is kind of failing me right now, but I just really loved it. I related to it. I think it's really good. Short, but really good.
Good thing is you can go back and watch it. It's all recorded. Yeah. Anybody else? August? I didn't know if
It's
you were
like, yeah, it's like Dylan said, like it doesn't have to be long to still like get to the point and convey emotion, and that conveyed a lot of emotion even though it was short, and I loved it.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, because I will say it, and I am sure we know a lot of potholes in the road where it is deep, it is small, but it does a lot of damage. But you are the reverse. You are the pothole that will actually do a lot of good, and that was a wow poem.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Well, one question about and this is for Shadow about the birthday boy. So, what was it like growing up with Dylan and seeing how he progressed?
You know, honestly, you know, back when we were kids, back when we were younger, you know, it was just kind of something we kind of screwed around with a little bit. You know, we watched a lot of, you know, we watched like 8 Mile, and, you know, stuff like that. And it was something that we kind of tossed around a little bit growing up.
And we also used to write a lot of stories together and stuff like that.
Right, stories and some of the games we used to play. They were, I guess, for lack of a better term, kind of like RPG. You know, you like create your character and whatnot. But you know, seeing
technical term is LARPing, I believe.
LARPing. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Live action role plays.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the name Shadow came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Yep.
So kind of, and that was something I kind of wanted to touch on too, as far as my name. Like, that comes from kind of a personal place. Dylan's kind of the only one that would really catch on that. But it comes from Shadow and Bolt, which essentially were our characters in said game that we had going for many years on and off growing up. But just kind of seeing the way he's grown, and not only in his writing but as a person. It really blows my mind sometimes. You're doing a great thing here, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it, and I hope Mom would be proud.
Absolutely. Of course I do. She's sitting right over here in this we got her ashes in this box right here with all this awesome stuff. There's my sister again. And she's sitting here, she's watching over us. And I know that she'd be proud.
Where do you think the technical difficulties came from all that?
She's hacking the system, man. Who are we gonna call? The Ghostbusters aren't picking up. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh man.
They'd stand a chance.
Well, on that note, my next piece is actually a piece that I wrote for Mom a few years ago.
Dylan.
Wait.
By the way, August also hasn't gotten to the fourth piece yet.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm all scrambled up. Okay, well, we'll let August go first, and then I will do a piece that I wrote for my mom back in I think middle school or something like that, and then I finished it. But we'll have August go first. I apologize for that. It's getting late. It's been a long night. What is your fourth piece?
It's called The Arsonist.
The Arsonist. That sounds chaotic. Oh, let's get it.
I fell in love with fire. All it took was one spark, and then suddenly there was a burst of flames and smoke. Bright colors of yellow, red, and orange followed by gray clouds. It meant something to me. There's always light in the dark. So I took the gasoline and matches and tried to burn down my home and bridges. My face lit up, just like the flames engulfing everything. This was good. There was light. There was happiness. Whenever it was clear, the please look on my face faded. Sadly, the only thing left burnt was myself. Oh shit.
I like that one. What inspired that one, and when did you write it?
I wrote it like 2 months ago. It's kind of a running joke in my friend group that I'm the arsonist of the friend group. Usually if there's like a bonfire happening, it's because of me. Because that's like just kind of like for whatever reason, a calming environment for me. Just sitting outside, having like some sort of bonfire, and just kind of like chilling out there for a little bit with like a drink or something. Like that's my like period of relaxation, and it turned into an entire joke with my friend group saying that I'm an arsonist.
Every birthday up until this one right here has been a fire where I invite whatever friends I have or whatever friends I can scrape together at that moment. You know how it is. Friends come and go, but it's always been a bonfire since I was like 9 years old. So here we go. Just to carry on tradition, we'll have a little fire. Kumbaya. Okay, that's enough of that. But yeah, it's definitely also fire in general is just something that's always been calming to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that, it's poetic to me. It's like all that chaos and destruction, but it's also used for life and creation.
Exactly.
And it's all in this, like, literally I can hold it in the palm of my hand.
Yes.
It's literally some people will get this quote, some people won't. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Literally the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. And it's like, it's amazing. It is very poetic. People used to kind of make fun of me because I'd be sitting like, like in like, a friend circle or just hanging out or we're smoking or whatever. And I just sit there and I'd have the lighter and I'd just be like staring at it or like pushing my finger through it. And there's people like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Listen, guys, I'm in my Zen place.
Yes.
I'm here.
This is me calming down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like that. I like that piece. I'm gonna probably go back and listen to that one. When I need a breath. I'm gonna go back and listen to all of this. You guys are great tonight. Let's hear what other people have to say about. What was it called again?
The Arsonist.
The Arsonist.
Oh my gosh. I have a meme stuck in my head right now because of that poem. And you know which one.
I do know.
Yes, of course. Are you Dylan Lawler or are you Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2?
You got the fucking quote, dude. You got the quote, man. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anybody else? Beelzebub.
I really like that one, especially like the metaphor of like burning bridges, but in the moment it feels so good because you've come to associate fire with like love, and yet afterwards it's kind of this huge oh no, the only person that I've kind of hurt here is me. The only thing that's really burned is me. I really like that. It's short, but it gets that across perfectly.
Thank you.
The thing about one thing I want to say is the thing about complete and utter destruction is it leaves a lot of room for growth. Like all these buildings are burnt down now, but now we have a lot of room to build some new shit, and maybe build some stuff that wasn't there before that should have been there, but we didn't have room for it. And you can apply that same thing to your own life and friends or just things you have going on in your life that maybe you burn bridges, you destroy old things, but you build new things. And that's what's great about it's kind of like one of my favorite animals, and sadly it doesn't exist that we know of. It's a phoenix, and it's just so poetic to me, like the idea of dying and then being reborn, like just bursting into flames and being reborn from the ashes. I love that kind of symbology. So that's one of my favorite ones that you've done, and I keep saying that to everybody, but it really is. You guys are all they're all my favorites. I need to get them all on a playlist or something. All right. Does anybody
well, you hold the source where you could cut our videos together and make it into a lovely playlist without the talking in between.
That would be super cool. A lot of work, but it would be super cool.
Well, you got to get your manager getting to work.
Yeah. Get this kid over here. All right, guys. I'm gonna do one more for you, and then we'll get out of here. This is one that I wrote. There was actually a writing prompt in middle school, and it was to read this poem. And sort of write your own version of it in that author's style. And the poem, I believe, was called My Father's Voice. And it was about how when they were out past dark or whatever, and things would get scary, their father's voice calling them home after that last streetlight comes on was something. It's scary because you're like, oh shit, I got to get home before old man whacks me. But it's also like he's there. He cares about me. He knows. So it's kind of that comforting feeling of just that I was trying to capture, that comforting feeling of just like the memories and the nostalgia. And sort of what he was saying in that poem is that when he hears his father's voice now, or he's walking down a dark street at night now, those things give him comfort. But that's the soul I was trying to capture in this poem. And it's called Crickets. And it is also dedicated to my mom. So, Crickets. The rhythmic numbing chirping blends so well with the silence of a summer night that you can hardly tell it is even there unless you stop to listen for it. Living in the countryside my whole life, I have come to accept the sound of crickets as a fact of life. As sure as the sun will rise, as sure as the stars will shine, as sure as the moon will wax and wane, the bugs will chirp. As I walk under the moon now, the crickets remind me of a time of ignorance and bliss, a time when I was too innocent to realize the chaos of the world or anticipate the challenges I would one day face. I remember nighttime walks with my mom on long, dark, windy back roads and forest trails like they were just yesterday. The smell of trees, the feel of the soft summer wind on my face, and of course, the sound of crickets as my mom paced beside me. Like a guardian angel, her hand on my back as if just to let me know that she is there to reassure and guide me through the darkness and that I am safe out here in the deep, dark woods. At a young age, I was too young. At that age, I was too young yet to know that there really were things in the dark that might take a bite out of you if you weren't careful. In times when the way to my bad, guys, I missed a page. I was too young yet to know what my mom really went through to keep me safe. I was too young to know that those walks wouldn't last forever. I was too young to know that my mom was only human. I was too young to know that one day I'd have to walk through the darkness alone. Somehow, though, even then, I knew that the sound of the crickets would always be there in the air if I knew how to listen for them. There are so many questions in life. What will happen today? What will happen tomorrow? Will I still be friends with the same people I'm friends with now in 20 years? Will I even have any friends in 20 years? Will I ever really make anything of myself, or will I just stay stuck in the same loop? When will my loved ones pass away? When will I? Contemplating these questions can drive one insane. In times when the weight of them presses down on me and threatens to crush my hope for the future, I watch the sun rise in the east and set in the west. I watch the moon wax and wane. I watch the constellations appear each night, one right after the other. I listen to the sound of 1,000 chirping musicians serenading the trees with a midnight lullaby. And sometimes, when I close my eyes and listen real close, I can still hear my guardian angel whispering to me, telling me I am safe and guiding me through the darkness. What do you think of that one, guys?
Yeah,
Give me a second. I had to take the mask off for that one.
Does anybody have any comments or questions?
That was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Because this really impacted me because I lost my mom in 2012 to breast cancer. And this just, you got me in tears.
Yeah, the last few lines were a little hard, but you know, I got through it, and this is one that I don't think I've shared before. I don't know if I've shared this anywhere before besides with like family and close friends, but I wanted to do it on my birthday. I felt like it was appropriate for my birthday, and I felt like my mom would want to hear it on my birthday. So yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
I mean, I'm kind of speechless. I teared up. I mean, I can't imagine. And I feel like it's a beautiful tribute to both you growing up and also to your mother. I feel like it's a very beautiful tribute to both of those things.
Well, I appreciate your compliments, and she actually did. I have since edited it because, like I said, I wrote that in middle school. She passed away shortly before my 20th birthday. But actually, 2 weeks ago, to this date. Or no, I mean like it was this date 2 weeks ago on my 20th. But anyway, yeah, no, I just felt like it was just a good tribute to do on my birthday, and it's something that I did save it till last because I'm known for doing that, kind of pulling those tear jerkers out at the end. It's also, you know, easier for me to, you know, bring in the emotion that I need to bring in and whatnot. But thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming on. And anything anybody wants to say before we get out of here, if you had the attention of the world, 5 minutes, you wanted to say something, what would you say?
Happy birthday, Dylan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dylan.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, because this was our virtual bonfire for your 22nd birthday. You don't need to have the physical one. You got your virtual in your hands, Mr. Dark Ark.
Put them up, yeah, hell yeah.
I don't have a lighter.
It's all right.
I'm sorry. I have a lighter somewhere, but it's one of those electric flames. Not.
It's all right. We had a good bonfire. This was honestly the best birthday party ever. Thank you guys so much for coming out. This was awesome.
No problem.
And the best show I've ever done by far. This was awesome.
We are glad to always be here for you.
Oh yeah, man. No, I'm glad you got me out here. It was great tonight. Everybody did fantastic.
Thank you guys for coming out. I'll catch you guys again. I'm gonna close this out and end the show. All right, guys. That was fantastic. So much talent tonight. Like I said, best fucking show I've ever fucking done. One of the best birthdays I've ever had. Like, it's just awesome, man. And we made it all the way till midnight, even though we lost some artists. We kept going. It was just sick. I'm a badass poet. I just wanted to show that off because I saw it in the camera real quick. I got this new sweatshirt today. Badass poet for my birthday. All right, guys. So before we get out of here, one more time, make sure you guys go check out every one of their social medias. We had Skedaddle up here. We had Uno up here. We had Robin up here for a brief time. We had my brother up here, Shadow, Brendan Lawler. We had Beelzebub up here, Laura Lynn, August. And make sure you guys go check out all of their social medias, all of their websites. Go check out Beelzebub's books. Do all that shit, man. And as always, there's always someone to talk to. Even if you don't think there is, there's always someone to talk to. Call me. I'll talk to you. And also, if you want to get on the show, message me at Dylan Lawler on Facebook or email me at lostboy420@gmail.com. And that's it, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for coming out.